should. Man, I've been in places, bro. When I was living in Louisiana, I had to go to an area in the southern, like the southern bayou of Louisiana. And I was in this spot, man, and somebody called the spot and was like, yo, we about to blow this place up. I was out that mug. All I hopped in the car. Remember, that was during the time of that song, what old boy name? His father passed away. Father was an actor. White guy, Blue Eye Soul. What's his name? Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We had that song, him for real. That song playing in the car. Everybody get up. That's when he got sued on.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I remember I was in Maryland, right? Cecil County, Maryland. And I'm thinking, I'm in Maryland, you know what I mean? Shit, that ain't even far from the crib, right?
Where the wire at? Why would the wire film there?
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, I'm thinking I'm cool. We stop at a Waffle House, right? Cecil County, Maryland. And the waitress, you know what I mean, for it was like this older white lady, right? She was cool. Yeah. But she came over and she was just like, you know, took her order. She was like, yo, y'all know where y'all at? I'm like, we in Maryland. She like, no, this Cecil County, this a little bit different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So some state troopers that came in and they were eating, you know what I mean, one black, one white. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, listen. I was like, look, when they leave, that's when we leave. You know what I mean? We not leaving before them. We ain't leaving after them, right? And they really came in, just got a cup of coffee. They ain't even get no meal. Yo, I never scarfed down a damn waffle that quick. But I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. As soon as they was done, we was done. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, look, man, I don't know. Cause my man, he had to set up with these Johns out there, right? So that's how we even got to Cecil County in the first place.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Of course, right?
Of course.
We supposed to be just headed to DC. He was like, yo, I got these chicks in Maryland, man. We gonna stop off and whatever, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. It's Maryland. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool with you. Yeah, of course it's cool.
Man.
Of course. Only the best dirt bags can get that.
Notice none of our, we have sharp on none of our faces right now.
Right. No one is saying really.
It's like standard practice for Mark.
Right. Yo, man, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I found out later, there's like, no, Cecil County's Klan country. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, like you know how like that back in the day they would talk about sundown towns? Like he's like, yo, they still fuck with that out here. I'm like, yo.
Yo, they still got those, man. And trust me, I was in Jenna, Louisiana, when like a couple of years after Jenna, about a year or so after Jenna 6. So I know about all of those areas, man. And I was at that dolo, man, like just dolo, nothing on, straight up.
Crazy.
So I know what you're going through, Mark. I had a guy a couple weeks ago. He said, man, I was in Buffalo. He said, man, it's wild out there. I said, yeah, Griselda come from Buffalo, man. It's real. It's really in Buffalo, man.
Hey, I know he just like, where Griselda at? Ain't you know, are they around?
Right. Oh, so fellas, we are back in the building. It's a Monday, man. It's a busy Monday, man. I gotta fly out tomorrow morning. I don't want to go. I gotta fly out tomorrow morning, hit the spot, be back. But man, let's do this show tonight, man. Let's pay homage to hip hop. Let's pay homage to sports, man. A lot of sports, some good sports. You know, the NFL is back in full effect. NBA trades are still happening. We got a lot going on, man. So, fellas, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get into it, man. First of all, shout out to everybody. Blah 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 blah. Let's get into it. Yo, let's go, man. Let's go. Merv is out there, man, drinking. I don't know what you drinking.
Damn, Merv, you gonna make it? Shit.
He must have got that stash.
You're like you're doing bad.
Yo, Merv got the airplane stash, man. You know, you get them little bottles in the airplane from the airplane trips, man.
Usually when he ain't having a good day, it's extra drinking. You know what I'm saying? You know.
He got that don't ask face.
Right. Right. Yeah. Like I don't want to talk about it. Just let me drink. Let me be.
Nah, man. It's been a long fucking day, man.
It has.
That's the thing.
So I had training today.
Yeah.
So I get off to 5. my daughter starts school on Wednesday, right? So I told her I would give her some shoes. I know exactly what kind of shoes she wants. So, you know me. Well, Stacks know me. I'm a fucking procrastinator. That nigga knows that. Very much so.
Of course.
I'm a procrastinator, right? Yeah. So I go to the fucking mall. No, check it. I went to the mall on Sunday. I wasn't going to the mall. Like, you know what? I could go after work tomorrow. I'm not gonna be a bum today on Sunday and just go to the mall Monday after work. Podcast don't start at 8 o'clock. I got off at 5. That's 3 hours. Shoot the Harbison, boom. And then I said to myself, you know what? Nigga, stop fucking procrastinating for tomorrow. You could do today. I'm gonna be fucking proactive. I'm going to the mall today to get my fucking daughter's shoes.
Damn.
Went to the mall. I don't know why you say damn, but I went to the mall. Right? Hold up. Damn. Hold up. Yeah, let me share this so everybody can hear this on my Facebook page and everything. I want everybody to hear this shit. So I'll just share this to the masses and to my fans. All right. So
you got fans? Damn.
Okay. Yeah. So I went to the mall Sunday, being proactive. I'm proud of myself. Drove there because I didn't have to go. Drove there. I walked in the fucking mall. I don't normally go to the mall. I walk in there. It's a fucking zoo.
Mm-hmm.
Every shoe place had lines outside of about 30 plus motherfuckers. Every shoe place. Well, not places like the shoe department, but any where you could get some nice ass Nikes like
Foot Locker, Foot Action, all that shit.
Finish line, all that shit.
All the motherfuckers lines 35 plus. And you had to wait before they'll let people in a little bit of fucking time. I'm like, this shit. The one fucking time I'll be proactive, I'm better off procrastinating going Monday after work. So I was complaining and shit. And then somebody told me, man, why don't you just goddamn pay online, do store pickup? I'm like, that's a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
I did that shit. Now, mind you, Stacks know my daughter. She's very attentive to detail and certain shit that she like. You know what I'm saying? She has something in mind. She has something like she want them colors or the details. Like she's very detail oriented. Like she can sit down and put a whole arts and crafts shit together. I can't do it. I don't have no patience. But she
she's real artsy. Yeah.
So there's certain colors she wants. I went online. I'm like, boom, I'll do that. I'll just go pick that shit up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that don't know, I live in Columbia. Guess what the only fucking shoe place that had this fucking particular shoe was at? Charlotte.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Charlotte is an hour and 30 minutes, an hour from here, unless you got to go inside Charlotte. An hour.
Yeah.
So I had to fucking pay for this shit. Have somebody pick up from Concord Mills, which is on the other side of Charlotte.
That's the other side of Charlotte.
Other side of Charlotte.
Yeah.
It was like it was no fucking way I'll be able to make it. So I had called my homeboys. I give them the order number. They went and pick that bitch up. At 5:02, I'm in my car on 77. So I'd have been to Charlotte, met my homeboy, got my daughter's shoes. Matter of fact, as well, got my shoes, my daughter's shoes, jumped back, put gas in, and jumped back in this motherfucker, and got here by 7:58. And then I jumped on this motherfucker.
You told me you were going to be on here by 7:57. About 2 hours ago.
I'm actually proud of you, man. He told you 7:57?
He did. He did.
If Marc said 7:57 to me, I would fully expect him not to be where he needs to be until 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good. I'm gonna say like this. Good job.
Yeah,
good job. I'm like, man, I was in the mall too Saturday, right? So, this is one of these bright ideas, for the Uncle Marc had, right? That just went way left. right? So I told my nieces, right, you know, because they were just like, yo, you hang out with the boys all the time. When you gonna hang out with us? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take y'all to the mall. Y'all get whatever y'all want, right? Now, I had a budget in mind, right? Just a number. I'm like, they ain't gonna hit this number. You know what I'm saying? You know, they gonna buy a bunch of shit, but I'm already prepared. I'm over prepared. So I had a number in mind. I was like, all right, cool. Between the two of them, I was just like, yo, you know what I mean? I'll let them, you know what I mean, tear up a couple racks. Nope. Went past that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, my one niece, my youngest niece, she was just like, did we go over the budget? I'm like, yeah, y'all did that 2 hours ago. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, they went well past $2,000. Easy. You know what I'm saying? He had to make about 4 trips to the car, trunk packed, had to push it in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all love, but damn. Man, they can spin. They can spin. I mean, they can fucking spin. I'm just like, damn, that's one day. You know what I mean?
No, my daughter wants some Air Max 90s, and yep, that was $1. That was it. You great uncle.
Yeah,
that was Marc's way of telling the ladies out there who's listening, I don't mind going to the mall and pop a few tags with you.
Yeah.
I do that for my nieces and my mom. Okay. You know what I mean? Now
you sound like
everybody else, you know what I mean? For that's not really gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can promise you that. I'm like, man, I'll take you for some drinks. I mean, cool, we could do that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just actually buying shit for you just cause, like, no, we're not. We're not.
Check this out real quick. I'll take you for drinks. That's the opening stages of Dirty Mackin always comes into play. Like, I'll take you. I got a problem taking you for drinks.
Right.
Yeah.
The opportunity
for the drink.
Is looking for something for them drinks.
Yeah, right. Drinks is cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you though, man. My man, you know what I mean, he did the same thing, yo. And this chick, you know what I mean, knew all the top of the line shit. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't paying attention. You know what I mean? This chick really was ordering Louis the 13th. Like, he got the bill. Like, yo. I like, see, you better pay attention to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, hit that boy for about, you know what I mean? That bill was like $700 and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, you gotta watch it. I like, man, you know, like, you can't really go top in. I like, man, you know, just mid-level, you know what I mean? She could tear up a little mid-level check. I'm cool, but you take her in the city, you gonna be top end shit, and she gonna order Louis the 13th. So watch them Louis the 13th bills, boy. Them shits is crazy.
Man, looking for me, I don't have those issues.
You know what I mean? Shoot, I don't got them either. Apparently he do, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Shit, top of the line, you know what I mean? Where I'm going is Ciroc and shit, regular shit. I don't give a fuck if you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Man, shout out to the good fathers out there who's doing the right thing by their kids. Murr, shout out to you for being able to do that. My little girl had her shoes for about a few weeks now, so she good. Got the, you know, we did online shopping. Stuff came on order, so we good, ready for school. Unfortunately, I won't be here to see her on her first day of school, so I'm kind of bugging out by that. But
damn, I keep forgetting y'all start school early as shit down there.
Wednesday. Y'all start Wednesday, Shawn?
We start tomorrow.
Oh, y'all start tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow. So, man, I fly out on the day she got her first day, but
FaceTime.
Gotta make that cash.
FaceTime.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
Fellas, let's go ahead and get into it so we can get in this show tonight and do our thing. Marc, I want to start with you, man. We had some rules with your boy, Mickey Mill.
Here you go. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I mean, it's great news. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I think somebody like Stacks, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's a humanitarian, you know what I mean, right here. So I was just like, man, when I posted, I was like, I hope Stacks, you know what I mean, checked out this article, man, because I like, this is kind of more up his alley, man. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Meek, you know, for being the first rapper to get the Nelson Mandela Humanitarian Award. We know he does some bonehead things, but he does some good things too, man. And this is really, you know, what's up. This is a good look for him. It's a good look for the city. And, you know, in this city, any positive news we get, I think is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's harder to come by, you know what I mean, at times, you know, being serious about it. But this was real good, man. And proud of him and, you know what I mean, happy for the city, man, and the work that he's doing.
And being that I'm a beacon of consistency, man. Yeah, this ain't nothing to hate on. You get an award attached to Nelson Mandela. That's big time. I mean, I ain't got no jokes or nothing, but that's big time. That was a breath of fresh air when I saw that, man. So big ups to Meek Mill, yo.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I had to figure out what was that all about. Like, what's that kind of award? What did he have to do?
That was my question, Shawn. I was wondering what his accomplishments were. What he did.
That prison, all that prison reform shit that he's been a part of. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, that was huge, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you spend some time behind a wall and, you know what I mean? You kind of come out and be like, yo, it's these brothers in here, you know what I'm saying, that got cases and then people started writing them and then there's more cases or whatever. And Jay-Z and the owner of the Sixers, they kind of came together and let's put together a plan. And they put together a plan, you know, to make something happen. But that prison reform is serious. It's a lot of people, you know, it's people back there who don't even need to be there. They just got caught up in the wrong situation, overcharged, you know what I'm saying, and really didn't even have any involvement in the situation. But they were there. It's just like, we taking everybody. And sometimes, you know what I mean, you know, that happens. You see it all the time where people set free after years that, you know what I'm saying, they can't get back. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, man, you know, and I always say, like, man, if you have any, you know what I mean, family, homeboys or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, man, you got to reach out to them, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, man, because just hearing our stories on the outside, you know what I'm saying, really helps them. You know what I'm saying? You know, just talking about the good shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, stuff that, you know, when we open our show and we're talking about just a daily life or whatever, they like to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to talk to them about the street shit because they know that shit before we do. You know what I'm saying? You could have been there and they know the story backwards and forwards before you even tell them about it. So I was just like, man, but the good shit, just being with the family and man, you know, like Stacks Love, I was on my new grill, man. You know what I mean? They had some porterhouse steaks on that joint, you know what I mean, or whatever. And Merv running to Charlotte from, you know what I mean, South Carolina to go get shoes. That's the stories, you know what I mean, for real. Your brothers, you know what I mean, behind the wall want to hear. They want to hear those stories, man, because that helps them, you know what I mean, for real, you know, kind of go through another day and have some positive thoughts when they're going through it.
So shout out to me, you know, shout out to that whole prison reform. That thing was big. He been dealing with it for a couple of years. So shout out to that dude, man. He need to stay away from the corny stuff, the whack stuff that's out there, whack 100 to, you know, to name a few.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay away from those things, man, and continue to do positive things. He has a good momentum right now. He has Rock Nation behind him. He has some heavy hitters behind him, man. Jay behind him 1,000%. You need to take advantage of all of that and just stay away from that other corny stuff, man, and just continue to do what he's doing, man. So Merv, I want to kick it to you, man. We had some preseason over the past week and a half now. The Cowboys kicked things off with the Steelers, and now we had a full layout of preseason football over the weekend. So I want to do this once a week with Merv, kind of give his NFL players to watch, early players to watch for the NFL preseason, man. I know it's early, but let's break some news based on what you're seeing out there, man. So who's your players to watch?
Non-as players too. We don't need that shit. Make you say that shit for the chat.
Shit is negative, absolutely.
Yeah. Keep it positive, man. Just keep the Niners out of this, man.
Yeah, man.
Shawn, I thought you was gonna have some damn pictures or something, nigga.
I got you, man. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Cool. So listen, y'all know Stacks my homeboy since we childhood best friends and shit like that. I know his nigga since like 5th, 6th grade or some shit like that. So just because he said that shit, I'm gonna be like a personal fuck you today, right now.
That was so childish. Okay.
My time. So first player I'm telling y'all to watch is from the fucking 49ers.
Of course it is.
And it's Trey fucking Lance.
So childish, man.
No, but seriously, right? So Trey Lance was the third quarterback taken. He is not slated to start right now, right? Jimmy Garoppolo in front of him, but Trey has been. I got all reports that he's been tearing up training camp. He's impressed the coaches. He's impressed the players. And his second pass of the preseason, he threw an 80-yard touchdown pass. He had a couple of drops. He didn't show his mobility, but the reason why I got him as a player to watch, even though he's not slated to start week 1, he's one of the few quarterbacks that's been drafted early, and he's on a team that has Super Bowl talent. All other high quarterbacks have been drafted now on a Super Bowl talent team, and Jimmy G has been known to have some suspect moments and suspect games where that Trey Lance has a chance to maybe by like week 6, where he could take over a starting position. So with him taking over a starting position, even though he's a rookie, he has Super Bowl talent around him. Everybody a lot of people that's back are from 49ers had a lot of injuries last year. A lot of people that's back was part of the Super Bowl team 2 years ago. So when I say have an eye on him, if he takes over the starting quarterback by within like week 5, week 6, and he has that Super Bowl talent around him, he has a Super Bowl coach that has Super Bowl experience. It'll be interesting to see what he can do even as a rookie with the Super Bowl talent around him.
Hey, real quick, we shit on each other's teams all the time, but I think all of us collectively root for the black quarterback. Because for years, we ain't supposed to be able to play that position, even though we got
at all
previous talent. You got Randall Cunningham, you got Warren Moon, you got Doug Williams, you got a bunch of black quarterbacks that proved that myth wrong. But it seems like we've been trying to prove ourselves at that position ever since we all started watching football. So while I say fuck the 49ers, of course, I want to see Trey Lance do well, except for if they got to play Washington, of course.
Yeah, of course. I like, man, and even in that instance, I was just like, man, you still want him to play well, you just don't want him to win. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to play well at all.
Hey, man, look, I don't care if you play well, just as long as you lose.
I do.
I would like I don't care if Hurts light us up as long as we get the W.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. I'm just
same thing for Dak.
Dislike him completely. Let's
same
start
thing for
with
Dakota. Wow. So you don't support your people. Okay, got it. Keep going next play, Marc.
But when Dak comes to Washington, let's hope that Dak.
His name is fucking Dakota. Let's not shorten it. His name is fucking Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota Rain Prescott. Yes, that's his name. Hey, Rain Prescott. That's his name.
So you proud not announcing that whole shit, ain't you? Why?
Yeah, who's your quarterback?
Hey, Marc, you got your next player?
Yeah, so my second player to watch is another rookie, but difference is this rookie right here is slated to start. It's Najee Harris, the running back, coming from Alabama, and he's going with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a tradition of running backs that
absolutely.
What happened?
No, I said absolutely no. I'm agreeing.
But yeah, so Pittsburgh has a tradition of having good running backs, and they had Le'Veon Bell, and after that they had Connor. But with that line, I know they do have new linemen, but when you have Ben Roethlisberger and you still got a good receiving corps, the focus is still going to be on Ben and that receiving corps. So with the focus being on Ben, you're not going to be focused on the running back. And Najee Harris come from Alabama, did really well in Alabama, and I feel like under that Pittsburgh tradition of having that running back with Ben in that pass offense, one of the things that they was missing was a running back. They haven't had a dynamic running back since Le'Veon Bell. So a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers coaches and the fans are looking at Najee Harris as like a missing piece for that offense to make it complete. So I expect Najee Harris to have a 1,000-yard season this year, and probably at least 8 touchdowns, minimum 1,000-yard rush, 8 touchdowns. Najee Harris, rookie Pittsburgh Steelers running back.
You really can't go wrong drafting Alabama players, man. I mean, it works out for us on the defensive side of the ball, and Alabama's like a damn minor league football team. The way they got talent, and because they get top tier talent every single time, and that's a really good pickup for Pittsburgh, real good.
And I'm gonna tell you, speaking of Alabama, like y'all say, y'all drafted defensive players from Alabama. The Eagles always seem to draft offensive linemen from Alabama. It's just a factor. It's a factory, all over the field. So shout out to Alabama, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, they produce some top end players, who end up playing at the pro level.
Yeah. You know what you're getting with Alabama players. You know it. I mean, you're getting someone who has grit, who's well coached, who knows what to look. I mean, look at all the defensive players that those guys brought out for the past couple of years. I mean, just the cornerback university and most recently the wide receiver university they brought out of Alabama. So they're on both sides of the ball. Alabama talent.
And the running backs.
It's
bananas.
Yeah, the running backs.
It's damn near at all levels of the ball to be perfect. Matter of fact, wide receivers, D-line, secondary, everybody, every position.
I think the running back position is even crazy because they showed a picture and it had 6 running backs. All of them are starters. You know what I mean? In the NFL. And I'm like, this guy was like, you know what I mean? This guy basically ain't even getting no time that year.
Right.
And he's starting, in the NFL. I'm like,
hey, Marc,
that's crazy.
Not only starting, but thriving.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Derrick Henry was not born. He was created in the lab. I don't care what nobody says. I'm pretty sure the guy got assigned parents. That guy was created in a fucking lab.
Yeah.
Nobody could tell me anything different.
There's no way.
Derrick Henry part of the X-Men.
Yeah, easily.
Absolutely.
There's no way. Well, we're going to hold you to it, man. We'll see what Trey Lance do. Hopefully, it doesn't do much. And we'll see what Najee Harris does as well. I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so hopefully he bombs too. So go Cowboys. Yo, Marc, I want to flip it to you, man.
Okay.
What's on your radar, man? What's on your watch list for the NBA? Because we got the summer league games going on right now. What's hitting your radar?
Man, really yummy getting in tune with this summer league, and they're just starting to wrap it up. Watched a great game last night, you know what I'm saying, with the Sixers and the Wolves. That went to overtime. That was a great game. But I would say like this, I'm going to start right in my city, Philly. Tyrese Maxey, balling, just balling, averaging 20. I think he averaged like 27.6 assists, 5 rebounds. I'm like, man, he was getting anywhere he wanted. I'm like, that's the offense, that Philly's going to need from him, moving forward. If he continues to play this well and he practices all day, he's a gym rat. So I'm like, he's really playing well. I look for big things in year 2 for him. So I was just like, and the Ben Simmons trade chatter is getting louder because he's playing very well. And they're just like, well, look, if we got this guy, we can trade for somebody else, you know what I mean, and have him, you know what I'm saying, do his thing. So we're going to see with that.
Out of Kentucky, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, those Kentucky guards, Kentucky guards stick in the league. Don't ask me why, but they do. They stick in the league and they end up playing well. Whatever role that they're in, whether it's starter, reserve, energy guy off the bench, those Kentucky, perimeter players end up playing well. So I give them credit for that.
Well, Marc, to your point, Devin Booker never started a game in Kentucky. If I'm not mistaken.
He did not. No, he did not. That was a loaded team.
Never started?
Yeah. Never started a game, He was the instant offense guy off the bench.
Yeah, but as soon as he get in, he give you buckets.
Yeah. He come in fine.
He don't get you a quick 15 to sit down again.
Yeah. He came in. He come in firing, man. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, this is even more crazy, right? Now, this guard that Brooklyn got, Cam Thomas from LSU. I'm sticking to SEC country. I'm still going to be in SEC country.
What up, Nick?
This guy, first thing, for him to fall to like 27 and let the Brooklyn Nets get him, like the Brooklyn Nets need any more offense than all the players they got. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, this guy can score. But I remember him at LSU, though. LSU, he was a scorer. He was averaging about like 17 a game. He had games, breakout games where he had like 35 points and stuff like that. But I'm just like, he gets to learn from James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. I'm like, if this guy has any bit of work ethic, he's going to end up being a monster player down the road. I'm like, because he has all the ability in the world. So I was just like, all he has to do is lock in and just learn for this year and then go ahead and make something happen next year. And here's the thing, with them drafting Cam Thomas, there was some talk about bringing Spencer Dinwiddie back, who signed with Washington, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think after seeing Cam Thomas and his workout and kind of going over his thing, it's like, I don't think we need to pay Dinwiddie $70 million. I don't think we need to do that. We got this. I think we got our guy right here for much less. And in year 2, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, very impressed. And the last guy's a second-year player out of TCU. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to wait a minute. My third and then next to last guy. So a player out of TCU, Desmond Bane. He's a 6'5" guard. Memphis just traded, for a bunch of guards away. You know what I'm saying? Grayson Allen to Milwaukee. They traded Eric Bledsoe over to the Clippers, or whatever, right? But this guy is the reason that they traded some of their offensive guards because they want to give him, another look. And he's going to get some minutes this year, so he's going to play well. And lastly, I cannot, forget to mention Jalen Suggs, drafted by Orlando.
Yeah,
I think he's going to come in and play well right from the start. Yeah, I think he's going to come in.
That boy got game.
He's going to come in and play well from the start. And I'm going to tell you, Toronto, I think they're going to kick themselves down the road because I thought, as much as I like Fred VanVleet, I don't think VanVleet is like a full-time starter. I think he's more of an instant offense guy, that can do a lot of damage in that role. I'm not saying that you can't start him, along with another guard, but they're putting a lot of pressure on VanVleet. And I'm like, well, who else is playing with him in the backcourt? I'll be a little bit concerned with Toronto because I'm like, listen, if the defensive game plan, stop him. They don't really have another guard counterpart really to get off and do your thing. It is no Kyle Lowry. He's in Miami. You know what I'm saying? And Goran Dragic also wants to be traded. So he's not going to be there, that long either. So I'm just like, a lot's going to fall on VanVleet, man. And I'm just like, he doesn't really have a lot of perimeter help with him. I'm just saying, I think they could have used that draft pick. Instead of picking a forward, no disrespect to Scotty Barnes. You know what I'm saying? But he's more of a guy who you have to develop. And Jalen Suggs is a guy who's ready to go. I would take the more ready player, if I was Toronto.
Yeah, a lot of good basketball being played right now. I'm still looking at that kid out of Detroit. I think he's still going to be the front runner this year. It is what it is. You can see it, man. This kid, he moves different. I think he's going to be a good two-way player. I'm not a Detroit fan at all. They haven't been relevant enough for me to be hateful towards them at all. No disrespect intended, but I think that kid's gonna be rookie of the year, man. I think these guys that you're seeing right now, they're like lightning flashing the bottle. You're gonna see some great moments and great scoring in a wide open summer league play. But this kid, he's already playing with some confidence. Like he's coasting right now. He's not going out here trying to get crazy. He's feeling the game out right now.
Oh, yeah,
and those are the ones I like.
Well, shoot,
he's been here before.
I'm gonna say like this.
Right.
His thing is,
I picked up on that. Right.
His thing is, he got to get that team to win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like him scoring 20, 25 points a game ain't gonna matter. He got to get this team to win. You know what I mean? Now he got another good player with him, Jeremy Grant. You know what I'm saying? So you got another guy who can get numbers, but exactly. You got to get your team to win. You know what I'm saying?
K Cunningham with the MVP, and Detroit will still lose 50 games.
To win the game.
Detroit, he's going. Merv, I got the good and the bad. The good news is that he's going to win. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. Probably run away with it. Y'all still going to lose 50 fucking games. Let's go to the next topic.
Yeah. I was just like, he's So that's probably what I'm most concerned with him. they're going to have some other players actually develop. You know what I'm saying? And then, be a scrappy bunch. I think if those other guys can show some hustle, you know what I mean, and dive on the floor, get those loose balls and make those kind of plays in the second half of the season. If they could do that in the first half of the season, in the second half of the season, they can make, they can make it tough for teams to win.
Mark, have you paid attention to Bay and Stewart?
Huh?
Have you paid attention to Bay and Stewart?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know who they are. You know what I mean? But they still got to do it every night. Like they got to be a scrappy bunch every night. Huh?
Every team got to do it every night.
Nah, see, some teams can rely just on magnificent talent, where Detroit can't do that. They got to really just battle you all the way to the end and fight out them wins. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, team like the Brooklyn Nets can coast and just be like, all right, yo, turn it up in the fourth quarter and then blow these guys away. They have the talent to do that. Detroit, you know what I'm saying, is still developing.
You just described probably 20 of the teams in the league. It's only like maybe about 12, maybe the top tier teams that just have talent that could just have a switch and shit on. Like
I don't know, man. I mean, Detroit just don't have enough players. Like, you gotta call it like it is. You know what I mean? They don't have enough.
I'm not saying we're going to the like, I know we ain't about to contend for no championship, but we got
playoff. Not even the playoffs. Because I'm just like, those guys really have to develop like a swagger, and they have to develop, a toughness.
That's what I'm saying. We got more talent than what you giving credit for. We got four young talent that can grow. And I'm not a biased player. Stack to tell you, I'm not a biased player, but Bay, Stewart, Jeremy Grant, and Cade Cunningham is a good young core that can grow. In 2 years from now, they will be making noise if no one gets traded.
I think like 2 years from now, they'd be like, what, a 10th seed, maybe 10th, maybe 9th.
I'm gonna have to see what they do with those. For me, I'm gonna have to see what they have to do, what they do with those other positions. I'm like, if you got Cade running 1, Grant, for as a 3 or the 4, they're gonna have to do something in 5, 3, and 2, and we're gonna see what they do. You know what I'm saying? But them guys gonna have to play.
He is special.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, So
before we leave this segment right here, man, Summer League, man, what I like about Summer League is like, you don't get like the NFL with cats just going out there and going through the motions. Now that last NFL where people are battling for a roster spot, seems like that's how the entire Summer League goes, where you got guys out there that are undrafted free agents that are fighting for that roster spot. And those guys be balling like they in playoff games. That's why I haven't had a chance to check out anything. But Summer League, that's what stars born, bro.
Listen, they was fighting in Summer League. That's how serious it was. It was a fight where a guy got punched in the face. That's how serious it is.
I heard about
that. And Shawn give their opinion as well. Is Charlotte, and if not Charlotte, will it be another team? Is Jello getting signed?
Yes. Jello's getting signed.
Charlotte gonna sign him?
Yes. I think if you look at Charlotte, they let Malik Monk move on. You know what I'm saying, to the Lakers. They let Devontae Graham, they traded him to the Pelicans, right? I'm just like, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have other guards in place, and I think they do. And Terry Rozier's in last year's contract, so I think he's going to get signed.
Merv, I heard they like him.
Playing. He's been impressing.
Merv, I heard they like him better than players that are currently on their roster. Yeah. So he will probably get some. That's why, when you grind in the Summer League and show a name for yourself, he'll deserve it. He will have to deserve it.
Oh, yeah. This is what I told people, right? I'm like, his brother is LaMelo and his other brother is Lonzo. What's the chance that he can't play and they can? You know what I mean? Sometimes it don't work like that, especially if they all three play together for a long number of years. You know what I'm saying? And even watching them back then, I'm just like, man, they weren't really far separated from him either. It's just that he just dealt with some injuries. You know what I'm saying? That he had to clean up, and he's finally getting that together. But I just want two things, y'all mean the league loves: shooting and being able to play defense.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And he can do both. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot well, He plays decent enough defense. He probably just needs to get more in the basketball shape. And I think the more he does that, the more, you know what I'm saying, he's going to have a chance.
Yo, we'll see. I hope he gets him. I hope he gets to play with his brother in Charlotte. I think that'll be a really, really good look for him.
Absolutely.
And see all three of the Ball brothers in the game, man. Honestly,
shout
I think
out to
that'll be a good
you got to give him props.
Yeah, man. Shout to Bar, man.
Let's call him crazy, but he about to have 3 sons.
Yeah.
In the league.
Yeah. Respect to him, man, for real. Last couple of news on the NBA. Y'all just see Bledsoe going back to the Clippers. Yep. They got rid of Rajon Rondo and they got rid of Pat Bev, man.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think it's going to be the right thing to do because they already re-signed Kawhi.
Yep.
So Kawhi's coming back. But
he's not even playing this season, though.
Listen, he might not even play this season, man.
He's
the playoffs. He may make the playoffs.
I heard that he's going to, the earliest, for he'll because it's not a full break in the ACL. If it was a full break, it'd be for the season. It's a partial tear, so he's going to have a chance, to come back as early as All-Star break. I think, you're probably looking more at March. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll give him the last 10, 15 games, try to round into shape for the playoffs. But I think he will be back this season.
But Mark, you got to realize though, we're not on the Clippers timeline or the Doctors. We're on Kawhi's timeline, and Kawhi might just decide to sit over. That's a factor. But Kawhi just might say, "Fuck this season." And money.
And the thing is, I think the Clippers did protect themselves by the moves that they made, in free agency and in the draft. They definitely got some more scoring, and some extra defense. So I'm like, that's what you're supposed to do. It's just like, well, however long Kawhi is out, we're going to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Not that we can equal what Kawhi gives us. Kawhi healthy, is like the best player in the league. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, but they made some nice additions to try to offset that a little bit where they can still win in the regular season. The playoffs, I don't know if them guys will be able to measure up and be able to do what Kawhi do. But in the regular season, where you can kind of, coast a little bit, squeeze some games out. I think they can get away with it there. It's just that they need Kawhi back for the playoffs, and they're going to need them to play some games before the playoffs actually happen. You can't just throw a guy in the playoffs cold, no matter how good he is.
They get a lower seed. Merv, do you like this trade, getting Bledsoe back there as a point guard and moving on Pat Bev? Do you like that?
For the Clippers, I like the trade for the Clippers. If it was another team, I wouldn't like it for the Lakers. I wouldn't like it for the Nets. But for the Clippers, I like it. They still need to make another move, but I like it for them because after it really was only Kawhi and PG. Like nobody else was able to provide offense. So after Kawhi got hurt, that's why PG was going on a tear because he had to shoot everything. And when he had those moments of tiredness, or he had like those 3 or 4 minutes where he'll go in a slump for about 3 or 4 minutes in the game. They have to break out. We go into 3 or 4 minutes where he couldn't hit, had nobody else. Pat is a defense monster as a defense, but he's just defense.
No offense.
Rondo, his older self needs offensive players to get the ball to for Rondo to be brilliant. He could still be brilliant, but he needs.
I wouldn't mind getting them back.
He need other offensive players. But when I gone, and the only PG, there's nobody else for him to pass it to, and he becomes crazy limited.
Yeah, Rondo plays at his best when he has a post player.
I don't want to be biased. Yeah, we can get the buyout. I think the Lakers should re-sign by. That would be a good move.
Who else do y'all want, man? Like what else? What else? And who else do y'all want?
Rondo, sign them all. Sign them all. We trying to get to 18. I don't give a damn. Hey, I'm riding this LeBron train where everybody, sign everybody for LeBron until the fucking wheels fall. As long as we get to 18 and get one more than the Celtics, I'm good. Sign them all. Let's get Rondo signed up.
Well, I'll give him credit, for convincing these guys, to take less, to take a win, to take a run at a ring. I'm just like, that's, that's buying in.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And he's posting stuff already with him and Westbrook working out, him and Melo working out, saying stuff. You know, he trying to get himself pumped up, saying everybody keep talking. This ain't gonna be a good fit. Man, that dude is so corny, man. Like,
I like it, man. I like it.
Yo, man, I really don't like that guy, man. Like, he's so corny, man. I saw somebody posting the sports and shit thing saying that I think it was like Jordan. After 15 years of playing 0 all the way down, LeBron, all of these points and everything, that got to be the dumbest thing I've seen in my life. You know what I mean? Like, this shit it's not even funny. I mean, it's so dumb.
That's where I draw the line. I'm sick of the comparisons because I think at one point or another, myself and Merv, Jordan was our nemesis and we hated him. But to try to. All these comparisons where people create a narrative to make LeBron better, like somebody said he's the top scoring person in Game 7 of all time. Well, Jordan hadn't played that many Game 7s. I mean, we all want the man to do.
He hadn't played none in the finals. I know that.
What do y'all want that man to do? Like, I mean,
he played 0-7 Game 7s in the finals. Oh,
hey man, you're a bad motherfucker if you ain't got taken to a fucking Game 7. Man. A lot of people don't get that shit.
Right. Yo, Merv posted something saying, I think it was Jordan was like 7-2 against
60-win teams. Yeah,
he has the most victories against 61 playoff teams in the playoffs.
Right, but let the LeBron stands tell you he never played against a good team. He never played against a team worth the damn.
Right?
You win 60 games, you elite, and you get the number 1 or 2 seed.
Right. Come on, man. The goal back then was to get out the East. Like, if you can get out the East, you might be fine. But you still had Utah on the other side, Seattle on the other side. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I was just like, I'm just saying they ain't playing against talent. I'm like, that Seattle team was talented as hell. Like, they still beat them. You know what I mean?
And that Suns team when they had Thunder Dan Marlon.
Yeah.
When they had Thunder Dan and
Kevin Johnson and all them. Yeah. I was just like, that team wasn't talented. Come on.
Man, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, man. I'm about to get me pumped up again. Thank you, Stacks.
And that New York Knicks team was full of G-Unit motherfuckers that's ready to take your fucking head off.
Yeah.
Man, you saw what they did when Jordan left.
That was a tough team. They was tough.
Hey, you see what they did to Pippen when Jordan left, when Jordan didn't play that season. You see what they did to Pippen. Like, yo, they got Pippen on the sideline pouting because he couldn't get the last shot. You know what I mean?
Finals after Jordan retired.
Right. Come on, man.
Right.
Yeah, but I am going to go down that rabbit hole. So let's go ahead and get ready to transition, fellas. I want to give my take, man, on my music alert, man. Fat Joe, man, Joey Crack dropped some new music over the weekend. I don't know if you guys had a chance to listen to it, but he dropped the actual mixtape with DJ Drama called "What Would Big Do." I don't think it's really a mixtape. It sounds more of a really complete album. He just got DJ Drama really doing his thing on it. So, but the album is pretty solid, man. It's produced by
Cool and Dre. I mean,
Cool and Dre did every track on here. It's your typical Fat Joe album, honestly. Cool and Dre. You got a lot of feel good music on there, a lot of old school sample beats on there. It's Cool and Dre. It's to me,
it's Fat Joe.
It's Fat Joe, and the album is called "What Would Big Do." It's something like it sounds like a Bad Boy type of feel, like all those samples that Bad Boy and the Hitman used to do back in the day.
Oh, word?
It has that kind of vibe to it. Yeah. They got that kind of vibe.
Check it out then.
Yeah, I'm on that piff right now.
It's pretty solid. I like it. I thought it was dope. I thought it's a feel good album. Honestly, in this environment of music, I don't know if I want to listen to that. I don't think it has replay value to me, but I think you guys will enjoy it. Honestly.
He had the song out this summer. You know what I'm saying? Where Puff and Khaled was in the video or whatever. Yeah. That was a nice record. That was a nice summer record.
It was a nice summer record. He had that joint with Rihanna. That was a pretty nice joint. But that's on there as well. But it kind of had that same theme with him and Rihanna. It kind of has that theme on it. So
is it any like old school crack records in there? Like
not really, because I wanted to hear that old school like
Crack Attack and Safe to Say and all that.
I wanted that, Mark, but everything was just like very glammy, man. It just it sounds so much like a Mace or a Puffy joint from back in the day. It's heavily sampled with high level beats.
I believe that. I believe that.
So again, it's dope. It's crack. You know what I mean? Cool and Dre gonna give you some of the best beats. Just check it out, fella. I think you guys will like it. Murr, I think that'd be in your wheelhouse, man. I think you'll love it. Okay. Another song I wanted to really just a song. West Side Gun and Fab got a joint called Brick for Brick. It's on the Godfather of Harlem Season 2 mixtape. Man, West Side Gun, he killed this joint, man. It's like I can play a little snippet for you guys. But it's called Brick by Brick. You can hear the beat.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. I ain't gonna play it all because I know you don't want to get blackballed or anything like that. So gotta be careful. You want to get on clip. But yeah, that's my joint called Brick by Brick. West Side Gun and Fab. It goes bananas, man. West Side Gun, of course, killing it. Fab did his thing. I love that song. That soundtrack is pretty solid. Swizz Beatz did a lot of the production on that soundtrack. So check that out too, man. If you really want that gritty music, that soundtrack is the one to go to. It's the Godfather of Harlem Season 2 soundtrack. And the lead single, or the lead song, in my opinion, was the Brick by Brick with West Side Gun and Fab. So those are my new music for the week. Check it out. I think that Joey Crack did a pretty good job, but again, it's a little, little happy.
I mean, it's like like feel good party type stuff. Yeah. Like I get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a little smooth throwback feel.
Yep,
I just skimmed through it just now to listen to the beats. Yeah, you're right. That's my kind of shit right there.
That's your thing. Absolutely.
That's my kind of shit. I don't have to check out the lyrics on it.
Absolutely. We saw a lot of potential verses coming up, fellas.
Yep.
We saw some weird ones come up. We saw some controversial ones come up.
Yeah, controversy ain't the word.
I want to talk about the controversial one first, because I was talking to some of the young guys in the gym last week when I first saw this, and I was surprised by just some of the response I got from some of the younger guys, and they were talking about that Durky Yo and Sosa, Lil Durk and Chief Keef, of course. And a lot of these guys saying Chief Keef will smoke Lil Durk boots in the verses. And again, me being on the other end, I thought that Lil Durk will probably get the nod, but I didn't realize, man, Chief Keef got a lot of fans out there, man.
I mean, man, he's the one that started, for Chicago drill. Like, he's the one that really, brought it where it needs to be. I had to go to my young boys on this joint. And they just like, when it happens, they's like, OG, just set us up, right? So I'm gonna bring the lick to them and the grub, and let them do their thing, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna leave and watch with my nephews, you know what I'm saying? Because this is their era, these are their guys. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that I say is I would just like, please, security, be there, because they used to be cool, but not actually that cool no more. And I'm like, you gotta understand, Chicago it's crazy, and it spills all into the rap stuff, what they got going on out there. So hopefully they can kind of keep it at peace. If you looked at Gucci Mane and Jeezy, they kept it at peace, even though Gucci was jabbing them to death in that verses. You know what I'm saying? They still kept it peaceful and still did the song at the end, so icy. So you would hope, for that it turns out something like that, where they can do that or whatever. But I mean, Chief Keef, early, he had a run, like, where he was just putting out record after record after record. And Durk, for real, was getting started. And then it was just like, he moved to Atlanta. And then you see how his sound changed. And he's on like a lot of stuff now, that's out there right now. So it's going to be a weird feel, you know what I'm saying? For people, for who like these artists or whatever. But I would say Chief Keef's more street. Durk, he's street, but a little more pop, a little more, for real, like kind of smooth. So, it's kind of like that, but I'm leaving it to the youngins, to kind of school me on it. I've heard the records too, but I always like to get their take, especially when it's their era, get their take on it and just what they think, you know what I mean, or whatever. But I will watch, you know what I'm saying? And it's really me watching them watch, you know what I mean, if that makes any sense. Like I want to just see their reaction to it, because this will be like the first verses that they're actually involved in. Like when Soulja Boy and Bow Wow battled, Bow Wow was kind of like a little bit before their time. They don't really know Bow Wow like that.
Yeah.
But they know Soulja. You know what I mean? Big Draco. They know him. But they don't really know Bow Wow like that. But these are two artists that they really know and kind of grew up on their music. So I just want to see the response from them, you know what I mean, for more than anything.
I got anxiety watching this, honestly. Chicago, if they're doing this in Chicago, I'm nervous. Like, I'm already nervous.
Me too.
I'm already nervous.
Isn't that why they're doing it they're doing it at the baseball stadium, right? I mean, it's shit big as
fuck. I'm just like, man, I'm in Chicago. I'm just like, yo, man, with some of these guys that be going down in broad daylight, like I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? I think if they could calm the crowd out, you know what I mean, and kind of come together, I think that'll go a long way. I don't really want to see them be adversarial all night, because that's going to get the crowd really to be adversarial towards each other. Yeah. And that's what you don't want to see.
It's too wild out there, man. I hope they reconsider and not do it in Chicago. It's too much. It's too much that surrounds these guys, man. You gotta be careful out there. Too many young rappers got killed. That's from that cloth. You know, that drill music out of Chicago, man. So I'm really worried about that. So hopefully they reconsider. Merv posted something earlier, man, about this potential. Now I don't think this will happen, but if it does, we would be in for a treat, man. To see Damon Wayans and Dave Chappelle. Merv, is that something?
Merv, I gotta ask you a question too about this, right? You know what I mean, before you even get into the match, you know what I mean, and I guess I could pose to all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'll start with Merv. Merv, do you think Damon Wayans still has it?
You know what? A lot of people are saying it depends, like what angle. And that'll be my question too. Like, what angle would it be from? Like, are we talking about just stand-up jokes, or are we including like movies and TV show scripts and like quotes from like? I was just wondering how they would set it up. Like as far as like jokes, you know, it'll be interesting because like you know, Dave is more recent, but everybody that has been posting or commenting was like, yo, Damon, don't sleep on Damon. Damon's underrated. Don't sleep on him. So
I mean, we all know what he was. Yeah. I'm just like, I wonder if he still has it though. You know what I mean? That's what I would ask.
But the fact that he was the one that called Dave Chappelle out, I don't see somebody calling that high pedigree of another comedian if you feel like you ain't got some stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And to Merv's point, if you're calling out Dave Chappelle is the guy right now as far as comics. He is where Eddie Murphy was during his time. I think he is the top guy. Mm-hmm. One thing I would caution Damon Wayans on is the fact that Dave Chappelle is not only funny, but I think he is an absolute fucking genius. The way he thinks, and all of that shit. So I mean, you gotta factor that in there. Dave Chappelle is not just funny. Dave Chappelle can apply his funniness to his genius. That's a bad combination when you're talking about battling someone, in my opinion, on a comedic type deal.
Yeah, you're right.
I agree, Stacks. I agree.
You know one other thing, Shawn, before you I want you to respond to what I'm about to say. You know with all the current comics right now, even like the other, there's gonna be a disadvantage if you're against Dave.
Yes.
Now Damon, he got some geniosity. That's a Merv word. He got some geniosity to himself as well, because he's like, you know, helped put all other shit together, like In Living Color, the movie that shows the family. He helped orchestrate that with Kenan. But the one advantage that Dave got over all current comedians, they don't give a fuck what he says and who he fucking insults. Whether it's the
he get away with it, right, Merv? Right.
Black people, the white people,
yeah.
the LGBT community. He don't give a fuck who he insults in his jokes.
Nothing's off limits.
Merv, real quick to interrupt you. Anybody can go out there and come for these groups that you get canceled, but I think that Dave Chappelle is one of the only ones out there that you can't cancel him. He can say whatever the fuck it is he wants, and I think he's uncancelable. That's
and they haven't canceled him. He's came at everybody. I'm like,
he went there.
And you think about it,
he went there. He absolutely went there.
I'm like, yo, they tried to cancel Kevin Hart for something he did 10 years ago. Like, you know what I mean? They gave him some heat. He got some heat on that.
He apologized. Dave Chappelle ain't about to apologize.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that just shows the difference. Y'all mean with Dave, like, look, I'm gonna just say what I want and have I want to say, and you're gonna deal with it. You know what I'm saying? The other guys, no matter how big of a comedic star they are at this point, they can't do it, and he
But
can't.
you know why you can't cancel Dave though? You know, when the main reason why you can't cancel Dave is just like, when you watch 8 Mile and last fucking freestyle, and his homeboy was like, damn, how you gonna battle this? This nigga knows everything about you. M came out and he started rapping, said everything about his fucking self. So he took all the fucking leverage away from the other dude. You can't cancel Dave for that same concept, because the Dave Chappelle show was at an all-time high. Yeah. And they offered Dave Chappelle at that moment like a ridiculous amount of fucking money to keep producing a Dave Chappelle show. This nigga canceled himself and walked the fuck away. So you can't cancel him because he's really not cancelable. Like, he's not give a fuck if you don't buy his shit. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Hart apologized because he was scared about losing money, losing sales, losing audience. They don't give a fuck about that shit. And a lot of times, you don't give a fuck about shit. You just it's hard to cancel somebody like that.
And I think the only person that's on his level as far as not being able to cancel is probably Chris Rock. You can't cancel him, and you can't cancel Chris Rock.
I think Chris Rock played the game a little bit too, though. I think that Chris Rock knows his boundaries. He knows what he can and cannot do, because he's still trying to do movies and shows. I mean, he has a show now, the Fargo show that he's on right now. Whereas Dave Chappelle, he doesn't care if he does a show today or tomorrow or not. He doesn't care. Dave Chappelle is like, look, I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to drop a special when I want to drop it. And that's that. You're going to come and enjoy, and I'm going to say what I want to say and get away with it.
Yeah, and that thing, that special that he had, 846 or whatever, I think that was like in his hometown. Like, he just set that up on the fly.
It was short, but it was genius. One of his genius works. Had it in a cornfield or some field during the pandemic,
but he set it up on the fly though, like, let's do a show, and then a couple weeks later, it was just on. Like,
it was genius. Now, here's the thing about Damon Wayans. You gotta be careful about. Don't forget, Damon Wayans, like Murray said earlier, Damon Wayans was one of the architects of In Living Color. In Living Color was probably one of the most racy, out of control shows that we've ever seen since Dave Chappelle, of course.
Well, Living Color was before Dave Chappelle, so
it was before Dave Chappelle, way before Dave Chappelle.
They kind of set the groundwork for a Dave Chappelle type show.
Right, and they went far. They went on it off the deep end.
And that made a lot of people famous. I mean,
still they probably shouldn't complain about it. They're playing around about it. You know what I mean? Still they probably shouldn't touch it. They're making jokes about it. But that's Keenan Ivory Wayans' genius in him. So you got to think about what Damon has in his corner is his big brother Keenan. You know, Dave Chappelle had Paul Mooney in his corner. Paul Mooney wrote a lot of stuff. God bless the dead. Wrote a lot of stuff for the Chappelle show. And those who don't know Paul Mooney was a writer for Richard Pryor as well.
Absolutely.
So you got to think about it. He had Paul Mooney in his corner. Damon got Keenan in his corner. Keenan is out of control too. He doesn't care, right? And like Merv said, just because they haven't been visible to the public or haven't been doing a lot, don't think those guys are always thinking about the next, comedy or next act. Because if you think that Marlon Wayans out here on his own, he's not by himself. You don't think his brothers back there helping him write or helping him create ideas and because Keenan Ivory was way before his time, and I don't think he gets his flowers enough now. But he paved the way for a lot of this edgy comic that we hear now. He brought us Jamie Foxx. He brought us Jim Carrey. You know what I mean?
Right.
He brought us some of the best that we have seen come through, and I don't think he gets enough credit. So if you think that he's gonna let his baby brother go out there against a juggernaut like Dave Chappelle, who they're all friends, they're all really cool anyhow. He's gonna have them prepared. I think it'll be good. Damon is a funny dude. He has an edge to him, and he's also a genius in his own right. It'd be interesting. Because Dave Chappelle got stories, man. He got stories for days.
Open up a new lane. This could also open up a new lane for Verzuz.
Yes, it could. I would love to see it.
If they play it right, I mean, for this really could be something. You know what I'm saying? Right. So hopefully, like if they're behind the scenes and thinking or whatever, I'm just like, man, hopefully they got some good thoughts going and being able to, to try to put it together. But I'm just saying, if I'm them, I'm like, look, this thing gotta be like perfect. I mean, we're not even putting it out there if it ain't at the top level. Like we just not going to.
They're gonna collaborate. You know that they're gonna come together with something well thought out. Out of respect for each other's craft and each other. Period. And it's gonna be a killer, man. So I hope they do it. I hope they follow through.
Yeah, me too.
So the last one, man, Drizzy and Ye. Everybody wants this to happen, man, and
it will never happen. I
don't think it will ever happen because I don't think the egos will concede to the other losing. They can't.
Well, they ain't even cool. So I mean, they can't, what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what was that song? I mean, for that I think Ross and Lil Wayne had Idols Become Rivals. It was like it's something along those lines. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like that. So I mean, we'll never see this. But I mean, just thinking about the matchup, I thought about it and I was just going. I didn't even listen to these songs. I'm just going through my head of all the Kanye shit I like and all the Drake shit I like. And I'm telling you, this is close.
It's close.
I mean, this is close. Like if anybody thinks, Drake, I'm saying can't match up with Kanye, you crazy.
Yeah, I actually got Drake winning.
Me too. I have him winning, but I have it close though. This is like a 11-9 type matchup. This is 11-9.
I don't see no
great records. It would break records, and
it would.
These guys have so many fucking hits, man. I would just be interested to see what songs it would pick out of all the fucking hits that they have collectively. It would be epic. It would break the internet, but it's not going to happen. It's good to talk about, though.
Right, you would have to pay to see this one. I would pay
for it. I would pay for it, to be honest.
I would pay for it. I don't think Triller or Kanye or Drake will let this go free, but we can just watch it and stream it. Nah, there's a package that comes with this. There's a package deal part of this that has to happen. And
that's fine with me.
Right.
That's fine. I'm like, with that. But here's the thing: the way I'm like, even if it was just like, all right, and Drake and Kanye, and they talk like, yo, let's only do features. They actually could just really do features and not even do original music. Right. And you would still get a great show. Like, how many other artists can say, "Oh, I can do features and my set is the shit"? It ain't too many other artists that can do anything like that.
It ain't too many. Their egos are too big, though, man. Like, because one is not going to want to lose to the other, and y'all know how Kanye is very competitive. Drake is overly competitive, and this will settle a lot of things. And like Marc said, they're not really on speaking term. But Marc, I think they're working on something behind the scenes, man, because Kanye's still pushing his album back, and Drake been hovering around that date when he went to drop his joint. I think they got a song together, man. I think these guys probably want to drop their album on the same day.
And have the song on each album, on each other's album.
I think so, man. I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's a good thought. That's a good thought. I wouldn't be surprised.
Because Kanye was supposed to drop his album 2 weeks ago.
That's some Kanye Drake shit, though. Because both of them motherfuckers ultra conceited, too.
Very. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, Merv. Them cats, you can see them cats behind the scenes talking how they're gonna roll this thing out, drop the albums on the same day, and be on each other's albums.
They are absolute assholes, and I love it.
Very extra type stuff, right? So I hope they do it, man. I'm a Drake fan. I know it took some people a long time to get to Drake. I know Mark and Nate could not stand Drake about a year ago.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna say like this. Nate, he's still on it. For me,
Mark.
I mean,
Drake.
Yeah, I'm like, man, Drake. I was just, for me with Drake, I just wanted him to accept who he really is, and I think once he did that, because he was like the smooth guy rapping or whatever, and I'm like, this is when he couldn't get to that R&B side that I knew he could get to. You know what I mean? Where I knew he could, because he was like one of these people who wouldn't laugh at himself, right? And I'm just like, yo, man, you gotta find fun in everything. If you can't laugh at yourself, right, that's a problem. But then when he started doing that and started getting back, to some of those Degrassi moments, I'm saying, where he would just poke fun at himself. That's when he really started taking off. That's when the R&B shit came. Then he was still rapping. Then he still had the, was doing the comedic stuff. And I'm like, that's the Drake, bro, that he probably really is. And that's the person everybody wants to see.
And he's very witty.
I like his rise, man. How he came up. He was on when the mixtape came up. Was that Friday Night Lights? Was that the first one?
Yeah.
But when that shit came out, I think people thought that was a fucking album. It was so hot, and like everybody was like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" And he was just killing it, and that was the lead up to his first album. And like this dude was killing it long before he dropped his first album, man. That's the beauty of Drake's rise to superstar, man. And damn, I wish we could get it, but I know we aren't.
Hey, Stats, that nigga had dropped the mixtape, almost got a Grammy off that thing.
Yeah.
Yo, I was like, man. When he had that verse when I can't remember how the verse went, but he said that he has a big pool. He said, yo, Kanye pool is big, but I'm just saying mine is bigger. Like, yo, Drake, he just talks shit, man. And I love it. I'm here for it, man.
Man. So I think, both artists are incredible. Yeah. They've made some great music over the years. Yeah. And I think I'm saying as artists, I think they got better each time out. You know what I'm saying? Some guys, stay stagnant, some guys fall. I think they continue to push the creative, ladder and just keep moving up. And you got to give credit to that. You know what I'm saying? Where you just got, they want to challenge themselves to be better. And that's what every artist, should want to do, is to get better each time out. And I think they've done that.
Absolutely. Hopefully we get it, fellas. But until then, let's continue to dream on. So let's get into the main topic for the night, fellas, and lock this thing out. So we just had the anniversary of hip hop, man. Yep. It was a couple of days ago, August 11th. We didn't get a chance to get on our last show because it was after our last show. But man, hip hop born 1973, and man, it just I didn't realize until I actually saw the banner for the actual anniversary of hip hop how long this thing been going on, and in comparison to other music and other genre, we're still a baby. We're still a baby in the whole music genre, man. So let's just talk about it, fella. Let's talk about get paid homage, man, to hip hop anniversary, man. I asked you guys to really think about what music or what artists kind of put you into that space where you said, man, I love hip hop. This is my thing. I'm gonna ask you guys here live, man. I want to start with you, Stacks, because you've been kind of quiet on that. So I want to see what you were thinking when you were growing up, man. What song or what artist made you feel like, man, I love hip hop. This is what it is.
Damn, you got a nigga on the spot. I remember back when I was really young, my older brother would put me on the hip hop. He would record shit off the radio, and he would somehow come up with these tapes. One of the first things I really remember where I knew hip hop was going to be what it was, and when I remember when I heard Das Effects. Now this wasn't when I started, but I remember this moment when my brother played this for me. They want effect the Das Effects shit, bump stickity, And when I heard that, I was thinking to myself, like, this is it. This is that sound. This is that music. This is that music. This is the opening of something that's going to this is going to be something that's lasting forever. This is going to be part of Black hip hop culture. I know that's a little random, effects, but I remember the radio. I remember you get a tape you don't use no more. You put the tape over it and you record stuff. I just remember that from way back when. That's when, and that led to, the first CD I bought as a kid myself with my own money. It was written. I hate to admit that on the air with Shawn on here, but that was the first rap CD that I bought, and I thought it was everything. But that Nas Effects that my brother had me listening to, along with Wu, of course, and just buying that Nas CD, it was written. I thought it was written was one of the best, because I bought it. I thought it was the best shit ever.
It was.
I'm not ashamed to say it with Shawn on here, because that's just the album that when you say hip hop, that's the album that comes to my mind, because that's the first one I bought as a kid. But I think that did it for me. Nas Effects, Wu, and Nas.
Wow, that's interesting. How about you, Marc?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. You know what I mean? Lil Shorty, right? You know what I'm saying? And watching Yo MTV Raps with my brother. And the symphony came on with the Juice Crew.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, because here's the thing, it was a debate, and I'm listening to my brother and his friends, because I'm still processing it. I'm younger, so I'm still processing what I'm hearing. Master Ace, shout out to Master Ace, Craig G, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Marley Marl. But it was a real debate of who had the best verse on the song, G Rap or Kane. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, Craig G and Master Ace had good verses. Everybody on that record was good, but that was a running debate for a long time. And everybody, at first Kane best verse, G Rap, he ain't touching Kane. But that answer started to change. You know what I'm saying? The older you got a little older, and then it's just like, well, wait a minute, let me listen to it again. You know what I'm saying? So that was my introduction to, for I Love Hip Hop, right? One thing else I would say, two things, that brought me to hip hop that was not East Coast, right? Shout to my Aunt Puddin'. One summer went to Atlanta, right? She played Eazy-E for me. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard of Eazy-E. I never heard of NWA until I got to Atlanta. Once again, I'm a little kid. But everybody has that cool ass aunt or that cool ass uncle that don't give a fuck about what they play around you, what they say around you, or what they do around you. They don't give a shit.
We all had that, yeah.
Everybody got for something like that, right?
Yeah.
And she played Eazy-E, and I couldn't believe, like, this dude really cussing and on every damn bar. Like, he really just doing that, right? So that was crazy to me, because hip hop before, like, you would hear it, it would have, some curse words here or there. But this motherfucker was just cursing, like, the whole record. I'm like, yo, this is great, but the beats were dope, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, whoever did this album, that boy dope. I ain't know what Dr. Dre was. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even find out who Dr. Dre was until it was NWA time. So that was crazy. And I'm going to tell you one thing. I think all of y'all seen this before. Before it was the box, it was video jukebox. You know what I'm saying? You turn to the channel, and whoever orders the video, that's what they play, right? Yeah. Two songs that stood out that they played all the time. And one was NWA, Straight Outta Compton. They ran that on the box. If you had the box on, that was going to be on the box at least about 10 times within an hour. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they had another song you know what I mean, by a group called Crucial Conflict. You know what I mean? Smoking on. Hey, in the middle of the bar. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, listen.
94, 95, I think,
look,
right?
I'm like, yo, when I first heard it, I'm like, what is this crap? What is this, right? Because that's what I thought it was. But then they played it over and over again. I'm like, this ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? And these cats is from Ohio. I didn't even know they had rappers in Ohio because this is before Bone Thugs.
I thought they were in Chicago. I thought they
are they Chicago?
I think Chicago.
But anyway,
yeah.
This is before I heard Bone Thugs. I heard them first.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Chicago.
Yeah, this is before I heard Yummy Thuggish, Ruggish, Bone, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know what I was listening to. You know what I'm saying? But then it's just like, man, you know, you go away, you know what I mean, for, you know, you go away to school and all of that. You meet cats from different places. And I'm just like, yo, you know what I mean? Y'all know about this, whatever. And they just like, that's the
song,
shit.
Tina. That's an old song right there.
You know? So I'm just like, man, I'm like, yo, but the box, you know what I mean? Going to different, you know what I mean, cities, seeing family, it just opened up hip hop for me. You know what I'm saying? Where I was catching West Coast, Midwest, South, and East Coast. So I was like, man, I'm connected to all four parts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hype on that. You know what I mean? So now it's like, yeah, you know, so now you want to know, you know, what everything is. So like when people ask, they were just like, yo, you know, you traveled around the country. Yeah, I mean, you always wind up in the hood, you know what I mean, everywhere you go. Because I'm like, it's almost like when they're telling you the story, you have the soundtrack playing as they're telling the story. So if I'm talking to my partners from Detroit, I got the soundtrack of what was Detroit at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, yo, we was listening to this and this is what was going down. But it's like, you know, the artist and you like, yo. So you start connecting all that shit together. And I'm just like, man, hip hop everywhere, man. So I love all the hip hop because I'm just like, yo, I listen to everybody from everywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into that in a bit. You know what I mean, with all the songs, but I'm just like, man, but that's how it happened for me, man. It was just like, you know, I was like, man, I appreciate it too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because hip hop was real regional, and I'm glad that my parents took me to see family down south. I'm glad for Video Jukebox, Yo and TV Raps. You know what I mean? For Rap City, I'm happy for all that because they used to play everything. They didn't give a shit where it was from. They just played it. So shout to all them shows, man.
Yeah, Tina, that last Dragon soundtrack was dope. Barry Gordon produced that whole joint, so I love every joint on there.
The rhythm of the night.
Right.
Sake, Sue. You sock it to me, I sock it to
you. Damn.
Y'all about to make me watch that shit after the show.
You know that joint, man. Merv know what that is. So Merv, what was your love of hip hop, man? How did you get there, man? How did you fall in love with hip hop?
Yo, so my like I think I mentioned in like shows like several in the past. I mentioned about how my brother has an influence on me, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of my hip hop, my first hip hop, came from being around this nigga, right? And one of the first things that one of the things I remember the most, this is not what made me fall in love with hip hop, but it's just a line I remember. This nigga used to listen to Dana Dane.
Yeah, Dana Dane, Slick Rick. You know what I mean?
Dana Dane all the time. Now, mind you, now I'm 40, so my brother's 55, so he's 50 years older than me. So when I'm like, I was like 7 or 8. This nigga's in his 20s. But they got this bar that I could never get out, motherfucker. I don't know what song it came from or what. The nigga said, I rock the table once. I say, Dana, please. I rock a second time. She started talking Japanese.
Yeah. How much trouble would you get in for that? You know me saying that today. God damn.
Right. We might be in trouble now. Yeah.
So that was just one of the first hip hop moments that I remember. But what made me the first thing that came, one of the first things that I was around my brother that I'm listening to was LL Cool J and Kumar D. It was the Bigger and Deffer album. It was the How You Like Me Now album, and that was my first hip hop beef that I was exposed to. With Kumar D going back talking about Kumar D came out with How You Like Me Now. Then LL Cool J came back with Jack the Ripper.
Like, that was hard. That was hard. That was so hard.
That was my first hip hop beef, and at that time, I was probably a more Kumar D fan, pulling for Kumar D until LL Cool J won my ass over.
Hey Merv, real quick, man. I remember, and this is a memory from my pops, man. I remember Kumar D videos used to come on. He used to, when the old rappers videos used to come on, he used to always point out that they always had a hype man. He didn't talk, he didn't dance, he was just in the background doing like this. Y'all remember back in the day, they always had one dude that was just bopping their head back in the day, the Kumar D era with the Rakims and all that. Their only job was, it's like somebody said, just stand there and bop your fucking head for the whole fucking track. And they would always pan the camera to that guy, and that's what reminds me of those Kumar D videos.
And man, even if you look at this album cover, like if you look at the wheel, he has he's running over LL's Kango in this album cover.
That's petty.
Have you guys ever noticed that from that album cover that he was running over, like the actual? If you look at the right beside his leg, the front wheel. He's running over LL's Kango hat, because LL was notorious for the red Kango.
Yeah.
And he has the red Kango under his wheel on that album.
NY caught on to that Kango, boy. Cass was wearing that shit.
Oh, the Kango, yeah. I like yeah.
So in addition to the beef, man, I also enjoyed that music during that time. It was like How You Like Me Now, Wild Wild West. I'm Bad. I Need Love. I Need Love was the first song I ever fucking learned word for word.
Me too.
First fucking hip hop song.
Oh man, she was just like, how sweet.
I'm gonna tell you,
this girl to make my life complete.
Yeah. What you call, man? Yeah. I think Drake had a story about I Need Love, so you can understand where Drake was from, where he came from with that. I mean, if you see what he's on now, because that's one of his favorite records. I mean, the guy.
As it should be. It should be everybody's favorite record, actually. Yeah. Hollis Queen. Yeah.
So that those the first kind of like hip hop moments that came to my attention. That was my first hip hop beef, the first song that I learned from hip hop word for word. But the person that the moment or the person that really drew me into hip hop, where I became like a fan. My first fan of hip hop was Tupac. And there's no one album. It was just like this nigga just has strong ass spirit. And then to me, he identified what hip hop means, because he would have a song called Brenda's Got a Baby. I still remember that video, Brenda's Got a Baby. Then he'll have an inspirational song like Keep Your Head Up.
Well, that's a classic. That is I call it the hood damn anthem right there, man.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then probably one of the first hip hop songs that I would dance to was like I Get Around. Then when dude got shot, right? And checked himself out the hospital, made a goddamn album called Me Against the World. Yeah. And if you get shot, you feel like you set up. You can imagine the kind of shit that's going through it. So check yourself out. Made a damn album. At that point, that was his best fucking album, because I believe the album just got 4 or 5 mics. I know it was high.
Merv, I got a question for you. Do you remember where we were? See if you remember this, when we heard that Tupac got Tupac died?
At the football game.
Against who?
Choppy.
Okay, gotcha.
Hey, at the football game, Choppy, they made an announcement of the loudspeaker. And when I tell you, I saw women crying. I saw grown women, well, high school crying.
My senior year, your junior year, right?
Yeah.
That was my video, Tina. Temptations. That was my video right there.
Of course, Marc.
So with me against the world, so like this nigga was so fucking versatile. On Mother's Day, I'm still young. I couldn't really afford nothing. I had no fucking money. So I did the little what Stats just say, you put the little tissue over the tape and record over that shit. I recorded the last verse of Dear Mama. After church, when my mom got something for you, I put it in a tape player while we was riding. Told her Happy Mother's Day, gave her a card, and I played the last verse of the Tupac Dear Mom. Then he also got a song on there called Can You Get Away, where he's talking about a female is like getting dragged, kind of beat up by her boyfriend. He just made a lot of fucking songs that I was able to relate to. And then he dropped then he dropped All Eyes on Me, which was a fucking classic. And then Machiavelli. I was dead because the nigga dropped the video. With the also one with Scarface. We had the damn, I think Scarface Smile.
Smile. Yeah.
The niggas in the fucking videos like on the shit up on the what you call this shit, the crucified. And then I ain't mad at you. He's in a ghostly figure.
Shit.
Then you talking about Machiavelli drop after he was killed.
Yeah.
So it's like the whole aura of fucking Tupac. And to me, it was like that was everything that hip hop could be, like the strength. He was doing like movies and shit. Just Tupac as a persona is what really pulled me into fucking hip hop, man.
Man, Merv and I talked briefly about this because he never really talked about his love for Tupac because he would kind of, I don't know if he shied away from it or just didn't really go into detail. Every time we had any kind of hip hop conversation or rap conversation, Merv kind of stayed away from the Tupac piece of it. Because I always knew he was a big Tupac fan, and I know he always resonated with Tupac music. But I preface that because I want to ask you a question here in a second after I go through mine. Because I kind of went through those periods as well, like all of you guys went through. Crush Groove was like my introduction to hip hop. And my uncle, I had uncles that were b-boys. My uncle, God bless the dead, my uncle Mike was a he's a rap MC Conceit, rest in peace, my uncle Mike. And my uncle Danny, we was gonna Shabba-Doo, light skinned dude, good hair, and could break dance his ass off. And all the ladies loved it, you know what I mean? Because he could have moved. He used to pop lock and everything, man, and spin on his head. I mean, I grew up around b-boys. So they made sure I understood hip hop as a culture and not just hip hop itself. But he was like, yo, this is not just music. This is like a lifestyle. This is who we are. And because I remember I used to have the boom box when LL had to join Can't Live Without My Radio. I got pictures of me with the boom box on, leaning against the wall, because I thought I was a b-boy for real. I mean, I really was a b-boy because I was so into all of that, man. I was into just wearing Pumas back then with the fat laces.
Oh, the New Yorkers.
What's that?
The New Yorkers. That's what we called them down here.
Absolutely. The Giorgio Britons, all of that, ashy wash jeans. So I was really living that lifestyle. And it's crazy because I say Crush Groove because you guys remember Curtis Blow was like the shit back then. Like everything had to go through Curtis Blow. Like if you run DMC, Curtis Blow was your father, right? Like you had to go through Curtis Blow. He was so big back then. Everybody else was like his sons, even LL, because Curtis Blow was the one. He was the one that bridged everything. So to me, Curtis Blow was like one of my favorites back then. And then everything else started kind of trickling down. And like Merv said, LL. I mean, Hollis Queens all day. how, you know, LL was one of the ones that was able to have that charisma. Back then, rappers were rapping about women a lot because MC Shan had a lot of songs, you know, talking about, you know, relationships and things of that nature. But if you really think about someone who really hit it home, it was LL. L really hit it home commercially as well as lyrically, and he won his battles. He was all over. He was all over it. Yeah, facts, Mo. Run. He was Curtis Blow DJ. Absolutely. A lot of people don't know that, but again, you run DMC, you had to bow down to Curtis Blow. They were his hype man. So Curtis Blow had.
He was like the first. He's like the first hip hop superstar.
He's like
you know what I'm saying? Because he was like the man. Like, you know what I mean?
He was.
Yeah.
He was. He was the very first, Mark. You're right. He was the first true superstar of hip hop. Like everything kind of went through him back then. And then, you know, I kind of transitioned into my love for hip hop, not just for Curtis Blow, but I started going to LL. I started going, like Mark said, the Symphony was that joint, EPMD, Rakim, Kane. It was just getting crazy at that time. And then it just exploded in the 90s. Because I remember, believe it, Nas wasn't my first. Like when it came to like the new introduction to hip hop for me in the 90s, it was really Wu-Tang. When I heard Wu-Tang in 93, when I heard them in 93 Into the Wu, I'm not gonna lie, fellas, I lost it. I did not understand what was going on. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to hold myself. I saw that the album cover that at that time was a cassette cover. You see the cassette cover, you don't see no faces. You don't even know who these guys are. You just see a bunch of dudes with hoodies on with a dope symbol. And I'm like, yo, what is going on? What is this? And then I heard my favorite rapper, Verzuz, when he come on there, speaking of the devil, sight, it's the God, get your shit right. I'm like, yo, who is this guy? and remember, when Ghostface first came out, he never revealed his face. He always had like a weird mask on or like a weird stocking cap over his face and a hoodie on. And it was always like scarred or something like that. I'm like, yo, who are these guys, man? And it was crazy because I wanted to be part of Wu-Tang. I wanted to go to Staten Island. I wanted to go to Park Hill Projects, Stapleton Projects. Probably that got robbed. Probably got stuck up because the stick-up kids are over there. Back in the 90s, it was really heavy. And I really wanted to go there. My wife will tell you to this day that I thought I was a member of Wu-Tang at one point. I had the Wu-Tang chains. I had the gold fangs. I was rocking, you know, their whole style because Wu-Tang to me changed the trajectory of hip hop. Changed the entire trajectory of hip hop. And I thought it was something fresh, something new. You had the Kung flicks in it. You had the skits. You had like the Kung Fu theater movie segments in it. And I used to watch Kung Fu theater back in the 80s. I remember Kung Fu theater
on Saturday afternoons, baby.
Yes, I used to watch all of them. So when I started hearing fragments of it in their music, I was like, man, this is unbelievable. So Wu-Tang was like, it was everything to me, man. It was everything, honestly. Watching the Ghostface Killer movie with the real Ghostface Killer, yo, just all that stuff was just embedded in me, man. So Wu-Tang was my first love.
Hey Shawn, I would like to say, and this is to give you and Marc some context. I know we keep saying that our little town down there in South Carolina, Georgetown, man. It was kind of that same feel when Wu-Tang came on the scene. As far as like, who are these guys? Where the fuck did they come from? Like, and I remember when I heard that album, and I thought that this is it. This is the best it's ever going to get in hip hop. These guys, and the thing is, you were used to seeing individuals rap, and you got about 10 motherfuckers that's in a group that's just flowing, and you had different songs. Like, who is this guy? Like, who is this guy? And I just think y'all should know that it was the same thing from our perspective, from our town in Georgetown, South Carolina.
To piggyback off Stacks, it's two fucking things off that album that you always heard through town. All right, the first one is goddamn Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck
Nothing to
with.
fuck
Wu-Tang
with.
Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Yo, when niggas heard that shit in town, niggas went crazy in Georgetown. When that's right there had niggas going crazy.
Bro, that's everywhere. Yeah.
So
that's
now one of the other things that came from the album, this became a fucking theme in Georgetown. Cream.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Everything around me
Man.
became the fucking theme during that time in Georgetown. That's everybody saying that shit like, you got that cream? Yeah, fuck that cream. Yo, that shit became.
We got stick up kids, corrupt cops, and crack rock. Yo, man. Y'all forgive me, man. Y'all forgive me.
It was different.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and the East Coast needed that. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Absolutely, Mark.
They needed that. And you gotta understand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, man, it helped change my mind because I'm a big fan of Dr. Dre. He will forever be my favorite producer ever in life, right? And I love the Chronic from top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man,
as you should.
My man, you know what I mean? For real, like, this is before I had a car. My man had the old Jetta. You know what I mean? We playing bitches in the old Jetta. You know what I mean? Old joint. You know what I'm saying? Ate up. You know what I mean? For my man playing bitches ain't shit. And we would just ride to that joint. You know what I mean? Because we love that record. You know what I'm saying? Especially, you know what I mean, if it was a corner and was a whole bunch of chicks on the corner. You know what I mean? Yo, play this shit loud. We gotta let them know, you know what I mean, for what me and Dre think about this shit, right? So I'm like, yo, like, I mean, lyrical gangbang, rat-a-tat-tat, you know what I'm saying? And all of that shit. So the crazy thing, you know what I mean, while we like we love Dre and Snoop, you know what I mean, was so dope. We was like, Snoop really just came on the scene, just blazed that shit, right? But the one thing we didn't know, right, that we found out later is that Corrupt, you know what I mean, he from over here. He from the crib. Like, we didn't know. We didn't know he was from the crib.
Oh my God, that
so,
album. Oh my God,
you know what I'm saying?
Ninth grade year for me, ninth grade freshman year.
I'm gonna say like this, right? When we found out Corrupt was from here, right? He's from Sharon Hill, that's like 10 minutes outside of Philly. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't believe, you know what I mean? Like, yo, Philly's on death row. Like, so I mean, we just started really riding for him then. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that G's and Hustlers, you know what I'm saying? Yo, y'all mean it's Corrupt, motherfucker, do or die. We give a fuck, motherfucker. Like, yo, that joint was nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then you had Pump with Mr. Malik from Illegal. I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Shout to Illegal, Mr. Malik, Jamal Fades Jamal, another guy from Philly, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we was hyped. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, yo, like, at that time, Philly ain't really have, like, really a lot of representation, you know what I mean, for real, to, you know what I mean, mainstream, you know what I'm saying? So we was just happy, you know what I mean, for real, that one of us, you know what I mean, was actually on something. But I mean, that sound just dominated for a minute, and it was just like, damn, you know what I mean, what the East going to do? Like,
it was,
you know what I'm saying?
It absolutely was.
I'm like, man, but I mean, I love both those albums. You know what I'm saying? And it was nuts. Like, I mean, the Chronic is when you had you would take the light bulb out your light and put a red light bulb. I remember I wanted a red light bulb. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a red light bulb.
Hey, Mark, you know what you just made me think about? Like, Dr. Dre was part of both of the two eras that started fucking up East Coast.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought about it just when you started in the Chronic.
It was continuous.
And then like NWA going to the Chronic. That's Dr. Dre. Then East Coast came back, right? You know, like the Wu-Tang Clan and all that shit. Then when Dr. Dre partnered up with Suge and Tupac,
Right.
Whole nother West Coast era come back again. It's like,
man,
that's looking crazy for him to be part of both of those where the West Coast started like.
Man, and then I got something else I got to share, right? My brother went to college. He went to Morehouse in Atlanta. You know what I mean? My sister went to Spelman, right? You know what I'm saying? And my brother, you know what I mean, he called me on the phone and he's just like, yo, I just heard some new shit. See, I already knew the East Coast shit. You know what I mean? But he was just like, nah, the East Coast cool. You know what I mean? We know that, but I'm gonna give you some new shit. He gave me Outkast before Outkast even blew up. You know what I'm saying? He was playing that on the phone. You know what I mean? He was sending shit. So like I was sending him mixtapes from up here, Ron G and shit like that. He was sending stuff back. Outkast, you know what I mean? Miami Bass, you know what I mean? For like old school Uncle Luke, MC Sade, guys like that. And in Philly, we ain't even know that was even a thing. You know what I'm saying? And he was sending that shit back, right? And I'm like, the Miami Bass, I really couldn't really get into it. And he was like, come down here, come visit. And we went to this club. I'm forgetting the name of the club. Mo, you gotta help me out. But they played that Miami Bass in there. And I seen what them women was doing, them college chicks was doing to this Miami Bass. Yo, my eyes was about to pop out my head, man, because I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I was able to kind of get with the South or whatever, right? Or even more. And even though we Ghetto Boys, Mom Playing Tricks on Me, we heard that. I didn't hear. I started to hear all the Ghetto Boy shit. Scarface. I mean, when Scarface, you know, was really, you know what I mean, going in, you start to hear all that shit. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I'm just like, man, it's crazy because when you connect, you know what I mean, with people, you know what I'm saying, and they connect with people, you start to get a different perspective, you know what I mean, going on with the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Or even, you know what I mean, when you're watching TV. You know what I mean? So that's why I always appreciated Yo MTV Raps, or Rap City, or Jukebox, because they ain't just play shit from where you was from. They play shit from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, like how does a guy from Philly or a guy from New York get to the West Coast? Them shows. So bang, I'm getting Far Side now. These passing me by niggas is nice. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, yo, I'm glad you said that. You know what I mean? 8-Ball MJG Pimps. You know what I'm saying? You got what's my boys up? Mo, wait a minute. Ghetto Mafia. You know what I mean? These boys Ghetto Mafia, you know what I'm saying? For real, called Indicator. And this is on the song, and they said they robbed Big Boy from Outkast. The story really happened. They said it on the record. You know what I mean? This record went all around the country. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, so it's shit like that, but you're going all around. So we got Farside, they West Coast, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. We got all type of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Man, you know what I mean? You got Apache, Gangsta Bitch, New York. You know what I'm saying, man? Shout to Camp Low, Lucchini was my shit. You know what I mean? This is it. What? Yeah. So I mean, hip hop, man, it's everywhere. And I like something from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I still play this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't give a fuck wherever it's from. You know what I mean? If it's good, it's good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, good is good. You know what I mean?
So let me ask y'all a question. So we just talked about what made us fall in love with hip hop. What made you? When did y'all peak at hip hop? What was that moment, or when did you realize you were most in love with hip hop? What was the highest peak of hip hop? You was just like, oof, shit. In regards to hip hop, anybody answer that?
I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
Back in 2001. I remember when I redeployed from Bosnia, we was on the Bluebird buses, Shawn. You know about the Bluebird buses.
Yep.
And when we were leaving the tarmac out of Hunter Army Airfield when we redeployed, they started playing. This is 2001. This was about I would say May of 2001. They sent me back. They redeployed me early because I had to go to a leadership school. I was about to make Sergeant Charlotte. I was about to make Sergeant. And when I was on that bus on my way to Fort Stewart from Hunter Army Airfield, about a 30-minute ride, Izzo came on. I was already in the early infancy of being a Jay-Z fan, and I heard that track, and then the Blueprint dropped the same day as the Towers. That was my peak because that to this day is my favorite hip hop album of all time. There was a lot of good hip hop that came out that year, but it was at that moment that I realized, like, man, this is hip hop is us. It's the culture. It's everything, you know. And that was the album that just solidified my fandom in hip hop. I would have to go with the first Blueprint. That's when I realized it, and I wanted the context at that moment because I remember exactly where I was when I heard that track that was on the radio before the album actually dropped. But yeah, that was me, bro, and it was what a time to be alive. That's all I gotta say.
I think for me it was Wu-Tang Forever in '97. I was gearing up to go to boot camp in '98, but '97 was when Wu-Tang Forever came out, and I remember playing that joint up until boot camp, almost a year later, because that's how much play that it got. And I think that was a peak because I remember hearing on Triumph, and the video premiered on MTV. And I remember watching the video. This is when they premiered the video.
Movie. It was like a fucking movie.
It was like a movie, man. And it was at a point where, my wife would tell you, man, you could not tell that was a part of Wu-Tang, man. I was talking like I was from Wu-Tang and everything, man. Talking about the God Hour and all that stuff.
Hey, Shawn, real quick, didn't it come on like a news broadcast? Like a lady was like, hey, yo, I was like, what is that? What is going on right now?
Right. It's like a news broadcast. And this is 97. This is summer of 97 at that. And I remember at that time, I didn't get a chance to get the album when the first release because it was sold out. It was selling out everywhere. But a friend of mine, we were at the gas station, and we heard somebody pull up, and you could hear like in the intro when RZA was talking about, you know, people biting the style and R&B rapping bullshit, and you just hear the beat in the background faintly, like. Like, you could hear, right? It was
don't bite my shit.
Right, just don't bite my shit. Like, and I was like, yo, man, I just want to hear the intro. I just want to hear them talk. And I could not get my hands on a copy of that Wu-Tang Forever album. And when I finally got a chance to get it, I remember playing it so much to the point where I was able to recite every song on that album when I was in boot camp. I knew every player. I wrote down. I remember studying that whole album. I wrote down who was on feature, who was doing the beat, who was the right. I wrote down everything for that album, man. And that was at the time when I think that I really fanned out because that was it. That was the peak. And it just so happened. I just so happened to go to a concert, a Wu-Tang concert that last year in high school, Wu-Tang concert, and they had Wu-Tang and Friends. Killer Army was there as well, and that was like, to me, that was the highlight because I went to boot camp shortly after that, and that was it for me, man. So definitely my height, my peak was Wu-Tang Forever.
I gotta say something regarding what Shawn said when Deck came on and dropped that verse. Still in 2021, I think that is the best. That's one of the best verses to me.
Yeah,
I'm not being prison in the moment. To me, that's one of the best verses in hip hop history, and it comes from somebody that's not going to be in anybody's top 5 or top 10 even. But that verse, and it's not. I don't think it's universal when people remember Deck's verse from that fucking song. I'll bomb atomically, like you coming on the track and you saying that. Out the gate, I'll bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define or I'll be dropping you. I was like, these dudes done it, man. Ain't nobody gonna ever do it better.
What can leapfrog? In my opinion, at that time, I was like, what can leapfrog this? Like nothing. Like nothing can touch any of this.
Chicks hit them for diehard fans demand more.
Right. What? And then Raekwon come out of nowhere after Ghost spit his verse. Yo, that's amazing. Gun in your mouth talk, verbal foul hawk, connect thoughts, make my man child walk. I was like, yo, I almost lost it. I had to study everything that they were saying because it was so intricate and so deep. Like Mo said, when Nas dropped Illmatic, it was just the lyrical display that he had on there. And Mo, I agree with you. I had to circle back to Illmatic a couple of years afterwards, believe it or not. I didn't get it when it first came out. I couldn't understand. It was so out of this world. I couldn't understand it. I had to circle back to Illmatic later on. But when I was listening to that Woo and everything, everybody was so sharp on that album. It was flawless.
Man, I'm gonna say like this for me, Streets is watching. Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? They put that out before the Greek Picnic, you know what I mean? Greek Picnic used to slam in Philly, right? You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say like this, like it was crazy, you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, yo, we was rolling, right? And we put that on, that Jay on, you know what I mean? For it was just like me and JB flowing alike, not in your life. You know what I mean? It's Mr. Jay-Z. Shit, you crazy. I'm hot like the 6 maybe. Deep dish with the gray seats. I flow greater than your navigator. Come through your town, lock the data. Like you have to understand. You have to understand, like when the Greek, you know what I mean? When the Greek came through, right? You know what I mean? And shout to the Freaknik and you know what I mean, for real, the joint in Galveston, Texas. Shout to all of that. Right, but when the Greek came through, when I say, you know what I mean, this was like I mean, every like, yo, all the females was out there, and the hottest cars was out there. You know what I mean? And we was on the scene. You know what I mean? And the OG, like, you know what I mean, for real. Me and my man, he's like, yo, you want to roll with us? I was happy to be there. You know what I mean? From an OG at the Navigator, real talk on 22. So. We was there. He was on the scene. You know what I mean? And you seen the boys with the 6s and the Bentleys and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy. That was the first time I ever seen a PlayStation in a car. Boy, you know what I mean? For doing the John. You know what I mean? You playing, it got the TVs everywhere. I was just like, but that soundtrack, you know what I mean, mapped that whole summer. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I'm just like, man, because it was the scene for me, and then that's the music to the scene. So, you know what I mean? For real, we felt like we was on top of the world. I'm hopping out the truck hollering at everything, like, yo, you can come with us. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and they was with it. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, we got the whole playing. Whole talking to him for us. We ain't have to do no talking. Whole talking for us. You know what I'm saying? Because Hov was talking that player shit. So, I mean, we felt that. You know what I'm saying? Then you put on a little bit that Christian. You put a little bit of that on, and they was on the rock too. Oh man, come on, man.
Going up in smoke.
That shit unfair, man. You had that murdergram, you know what I mean, for X and Dry.
Man, look at these bars that Mo putting in there, man. Yo, that verbal intercourse, like Tina put on that verbal intercourse, that was probably one of one. That's when,
you know what I mean? That's my favorite Nas verse.
Yeah,
period. You know what I mean?
Like this nigga's the golden child. He called Nas the golden child after that verse. I'm like, there's no way we could put together that kind of verse.
Even the joint that he had on Mobb Deep joint, Eye for an Eye.
Yeah, oh my god.
Drug dealer's dream. Stash scream, keys on the triple beam. 500 SL green, 95 nickel gleam.
Condominium.
Thug dressed like a gentleman. Tailor-made ostrich. Chanel for my women friend. Come on, man. Cut it out, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, man.
I'm getting excited. I'm sorry, yo.
I like, man, you know.
I'm sorry, man.
I was like, yo.
You got to,
like,
man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just, yo, like, it just had you in the zone. I'm like, man, this I'm like, this is when like, yo, niggas really put the fluorescent lights under the car and the whole car light up. This is that. This is from that era. I was like, yo, you don't understand, you know what I mean, for how hype he was about shit like that, man. Like,
and I got to ask Merv this. Because I paused it for a second because I had to ask Merv this as a Pac fan. Because Merv, I was in my Pac bag over the weekend, man. I was listening to some of Pac stuff and listening to some old interviews and some old biographies and things like that nature. I want to ask you this, man. How did you feel about Pac and Big? How do you feel about Big during that time? Because a lot of people who were Pac fans during that time, they had issue with Big, like real issues with Big. It was like really divided. So were you one of those guys that were divided with Big, or you was kind of rocking with everybody regardless?
The wrong shit, nigga. This might end a friendship.
Yo.
Facts, Nick. I was one of those guys too, Nick. I was spitting supreme mathematics. Like, yo, I was talking mathematics like crazy. I got 2 books in there all about mathematics.
Wait a minute. Hey, yo, were you chewing on sticks too, man?
What?
We had I know boys who was chewing on sticks.
You get the Muslim brother Rudy Merv, he'll get you to chew sticks.
Don't get me started, man. I had to chew sticks and everything. My cousin owned a shop, man. I had to.
Yo, listen.
When I said we try to mimic up north, bro, we had to chew sticks and all that shit.
You know what's crazy? I seen a boy. He wanted a chew stick and he ripped that shit off a tree. That's how crazy that was.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
You're supposed to do that. Yeah.
You're not. I'm like, I think they got a shop, you know what I mean, that might sell this, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. He's like, nah, this is good. He really was chewing on a real stick. Like,
we had the 3 sticks down south too, man. We had those.
Yeah. So Merv, man, what was your stance? Because that was a really tough time, man, for hip hop in general. It was scary times.
So Jay-Z, I didn't fuck with Jay-Z.
Of course.
Biggie, I listened to his hot songs, but I wasn't a Biggie fan. I didn't like Biggie during that time. And like I'm matured now, so I know I was thinking crazy back then. But I'm about to say something I ain't never told nobody before. When Pac died, I was so bothered. I felt it was unfair that Pac was dead and Biggie was still alive.
Whoa! Whoa! Hey, Tina, hold that thought. I'm gonna come back to that. Hold that thought.
Hey, Merv, we gotta fight, man. We gotta fight.
Hold that thought as well, man.
Come to the conclusion we gotta fight over that shit, man.
Yo, hold that thought, Tina, and hold that thought, Mo. Wow, that's a first, man.
Yeah. Now, granted, remember now, this happened in '96.
The fuck is going on?
I was only like 15. I was what, 15?
Your stats can't take that, man.
Pac died in September '96, right?
Yeah.
I was only 15 years old.
Yeah. I can see that. That makes sense.
I was only 15, so I didn't fuck with Jay-Z. I didn't like Biggie and Puffy and them. I did listen to the music, but as far as but
Shotcha was my shit though. I mean, was my shit.
I ain't fuck with them.
Tina, no. Big
as I got older and I can think objectively.
We get into that.
Then I started fucking with Jay-Z, and then I started giving Biggie more props. But I still don't have Biggie or Jay-Z above Tupac.
I don't know why. You're a fucking idiot for that shit now.
Whoa.
That's his opinion.
We going with violence right
now.
That's his opinion.
I don't care. I don't fucking care.
Tupac like Biggie.
What?
You know what I mean? Story to tell, man. We always ask which Nick it was.
Biggie got tips from Tupac.
He did. He did. He got that player stuff from Tupac.
Biggie, nigga.
Yeah.
Biggie learned from Tupac.
He learned from
Tupac was his mentor.
Facts. That's facts, Stacks.
In case you didn't know that.
Stacks. He's
speaking facts. I make your mouthpiece obese like DeLuise. When I release, you lose teeth like Little C.
Yeah. That's hot too. Damn. But he learned that player stuff from Pop.
No, he didn't.
Big was on. Big was on that Machine Gun Funk stuff. Pop,
no, but the thing is though, here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pop was on that shit, but he wasn't talking that shit. Like, Big would talk that shit in the record, that player shit. Pop wasn't talking that player shit to us in the records like that. Not, you know what I mean, like Big was talking.
But Mark, that's the thing. Podcast range, man. Podcast so much range.
I was just about to say they didn't have to.
Like, he didn't have to.
But he talk about so much other shit.
Right. You talking about Dear Mama. You talking about Brenda's got a baby.
But you know, I mean, I'm like, but I ain't appreciate that till later. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, yo, in Philly,
Biggie. I didn't appreciate Biggie and Jay-Z till later.
But I didn't appreciate Pop, you know what I mean, for real, like the early shit until he got on Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, because he was player, but he wasn't talking that shit. Like in Philly, man, all we wanted was money and fucking cars. Like, you know what I mean? And whoever was talking that's what we was riding out to, because we wanted the same shit and we was doing whatever we had to do to get it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? If you wasn't talking that, we wasn't really feeling. But Jay-Z, Biggie, they was talking that shit. So we was fucking with it.
Also, I know how it feels to wake up fucked up. Pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell.
Yeah, you know, and guess what? When he woke up feeling fucked up, he was on Tupac couch.
Ooh.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, that's a true story though. That's a true story though.
I don't know that though.
Look at that.
I don't care what you got to say, Shawn. I don't care.
I'm just saying, when he's speaking facts though, he's right. Because that was part of the reason why I didn't appreciate. I had to appreciate Pac quickly, because, like Merv said, Pac was just such a great man. Pac was just his energy, man. This dude was talking the other day, and he was like, man, Pac would have shut all these guys down, hands down, because he wouldn't stop. And I said, you know what? You're right. I said, now I'm thinking about it. Pac, Ether wouldn't do anything to Pac. Ether probably would have bruised him just a little bit, but Pac would have destroyed Nas because Pac wouldn't stop. And that's the thing. Like, Big didn't want to go far with Pac, and Big had the bars that could compete with Pac in the battle. But the only thing that was different was Pac would have been relentless. He wouldn't have stopped. He wouldn't have stopped until it was over.
Pac ain't had no fucking boundaries.
Pac
had zero boundaries. If it was a beef, but Pac is gonna say that.
But here's the thing.
Pac said, don't one of you motherfuckers got sickle cell? I'm like, well, that's out of pocket.
Yeah, that was out of pocket. Yeah.
But Pac didn't give a fuck.
But that's the thing. Like, when I told Merv, I sent that video to Merv, because I was just in a Pac zone this weekend for whatever, probably because the Death Row East song. And I went back and watched a lot of stuff, man. And they were saying how, and Mo might be still out there, and Mo could probably attest to this. But it was going to be wild, because Napoleon was saying that Nas and Pop was gonna make an album together. That's how close it was. Imagine us getting a Nas in '96 and Pac in '96. Imagine us getting an album of them together, like a whole album of them together.
Well, that was going to happen. But you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Like I said, Suge Knight's and Puff's bullshit got all in the way. Yep. You know what I mean? You know, and we know what happened with that.
Yep.
But I'm gonna say like this, man.
I don't think Jay-Z would have survived that. Honestly, Stacks, I know you're a Jay fan.
Yo, Jay-Z,
he would have had to get on board. Is what he would have had to do.
Right.
He had to get on board.
Be who he is today. And Pac and Biggie, Jay-Z benefited the most out of everybody in hip hop, from Jay-Z,
everybody,
Biggie, and Pac dying.
Thank you.
But you know what though? I'm gonna say like this. Jay was. But here's the thing. Jay was always able to find a lane though. Like he always found a lane.
What?
Like Jay was always, able to find a lane. Like he was always able to find a lane where he could move.
He was lane.
No. He was always able to find a lane. Like, you know what I mean? Jay just knew how to move though. I give him
a lane, but okay, Jay lane right now is like this. If them niggas don't die, Jay Lane is like this.
Right.
Man, well, you know what? I would say it's more with Biggie though than it is with Pac. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, you know, it's more with Biggie. Like if Biggie's out the way, then that's different.
It's different. You right in the sense, Mark, because it's different aspects. Because with both of them being from the same spot, he wouldn't be able to. He wouldn't be able to get up there and be king of BK because Biggie's still alive. So from that aspect, yes. No. From the Tupac aspect, Tupac would have been going at this nigga so fucking much that listen, you know, Jay-Z got a lot of fans after Tupac died. But don't say how many people didn't fuck with Jay-Z because Tupac said fuck Jay-Z.
Gradually, right, Merv. Gradually, people started
because of fans, huh?
I'll say like this. I mean, Pac got helped out a lot, you know what I mean, for about getting with Death Row. Because his production went through the fucking roof. Like when he got with Death Row, that's facts.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Y'all sit here and act like
he used that power. He used that power to fuck up Jay-Z. He used that from Death Row and West Coast to fuck up Jay-Z.
Yeah. Because I was just like the mother bulls he had before Death Row, you know what I mean, wasn't they weren't lacing his tracks, you know what I mean, the way Death Row did. Not at all.
And Mark, it's not a coincidence that Reasonable Doubt didn't get no airplay until years later. Absolutely. Because when that came out, it was still had the Tupac influence saying fuck Jay-Z. So people wasn't even giving
But also Reasonable Doubt, you know what I mean, kind of went over our heads. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of went. No, but what I'm saying is that Reasonable Doubt, he was talking from a boss level. So, like, if listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying, right? If you're in the streets, right? And I'm like, man, I had this conversation before. Beans had this conversation before. It was just like, yo, y'all mean hustle, get the re-up, and then put it back. Like, we don't understand y'all mean for real that boss talk because that shit was way over our head. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, that album didn't go over as well because it was just shit that went over our head. Like, how many niggas y'all mean was talking like, yo, man, I got 10, 15 keys. Like, niggas y'all mean, you know. Niggas wasn't talking like that.
Why are we talking like that? Why are we acting like Tupac and Biggie's death? Why are we acting like Jay-Z is the only one that would have been affected? That would have been affected if those guys had not died. Why are we sitting there with a straight face acting like that? If those guys did not die, that would have changed the whole landscape of hip hop because they had it on lock. Jay-Z might not have been able to get in and get his shit off, but how many other rappers wouldn't have been able to get in and get their shit off? You could throw Nas up in there. I don't know.
Hold on, Shawn. Hold on. Let me. So, no, you're right. It would have affected a whole bunch of people, but in my opinion, it affected Jay-Z the most because Jay-Z.
Yeah, fuck your opinion though.
Whoa, that was my opinion. But Jay-Z was most connected to those two than other rappers. Like, for example, you brought up Nas. Nas is from Queens, so Nas still would had a better chance of still become what he is because
why,
nigga, you gonna let me talk?
You go ahead.
You don't like what the fuck I'm saying. So now you was talking about why, nigga. I just started telling you why, nigga.
Hurry up.
Oh. Hey, man, relax.
This nigga feelings hurt. Hey, man, don't think about the past. Just be happy that he's at the top right now. But listen, Jay-Z and Biggie both was from the same borough. All right? And most boroughs and more shit going to be one king.
That's facts.
All right?
That's facts.
So if Biggie don't die, Jay-Z don't even come close to being the king because Biggie already had the fans, already had everything on his shoulder.
Facts.
So that's one reason right there. Nas didn't have anybody in Queens at that time that you have to go back and forth with.
Right. The closest was
LL Cool J was older. Right. So it would have been
he was already moving into movies.
Exactly.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Right. Biggie and Jay is not too far apart. They was about to come together. But Jay would have been like either the Prince or the Junior of BK. Now, and when we talk about the Tupac Tupac was going at Jay-Z head so fucking hard, and it was no compromise. Jay, Jay got ego, so he wasn't about to compromise. Just like he said, y'all.
But you know what though? I'm gonna say like this, like
Nas was about to go to Death Row East. So if Nas had went with Death Row East, Queens plus Death Row, he still would have been going up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like this though. To be honest though, I mean the way that I look at it, from back then, even with Pac, you know what I'm saying, even with Pac going at Jay, like, you know what I'm saying, it still don't really change the facts from the ground, at least from where I was, right, in my region. I'm like, I know what we like to hear, and I know, you know what I mean, we was fucking with, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, we like Pac, and I like Pac more than others, you know what I'm saying, for real, in Philly. But it was just like, yo, it wasn't like, you know what I mean, yo, we ain't playing Jay-Z because Pac talking shit about him. We ain't feel how the West Coast felt about what Pac was saying. We just fuck with Pac music because he was with Dr. Dre and them now. And we ain't really fuck with his other shit before that. You know what I mean? We fuck with Dre. So, you know what I mean? That made us fuck with Pac a little bit because he had Daz and Assassin and all them other Death Row producers, you know what I mean? So, all right, Pac on Death Row, you know what I mean? So we with him.
So let me respond to Elmore. Like, I think people are taking what I'm saying well, and they're interpreting that I'm saying that Jay-Z would disappear. I'm not saying Jay-Z would disappear.
Not at all.
I'm not talking about. I'm responding to this word. I'm not saying Jay-Z would disappear. I'm not saying Jay-Z wouldn't have a long career. I'm not saying Jay-Z would not be good. All I'm saying right now, Jay-Z is icon status. Let's be real. Jay-Z right now is at fucking icon status, and he's
absolutely space shuttle level.
And he's a lot of people goats all time dead alive. What I'm saying is, if those niggas don't die, Jay-Z becomes just a good rapper. He's like, he'd be like,
now we're doing hyperbole. Okay,
he becomes a good rapper.
I don't know.
Huh?
Look, we can make the same argument.
You said, wait a minute, say again. NY ain't like NY don't.
We can say that.
I mean, shit. Yeah, I mean, I don't even like my family in NY, so fuck them too. You know what I'm saying?
Since we're talking about what ifs, let's go to Big L. I mean, you could arguably say that Big L was the better MC than Big, and that's lofty. You can say that Big L was a better MC than Jay-Z and Big. So what if he? I mean, we can do what ifs all day, but let's throw Big L in the mix because that motherfucker could go. That motherfucker was.
I don't disagree there, and Merv and I very rarely agree on something. But
it's Merv. I mean, so yeah.
But what he's saying, he has a very valid point. I don't think that
you're trying to change the narrative.
Of course, he
no. And this is not dissing Jay at all. This is, I think
we like Jay. Yeah, I mean here
I like Jay.
We fuck with.
Don and Merv, he's questionable right now.
I like Jay. I do think that what Merv's point is, because I thought about that as well. Like if Pac and Big was still here, right? Jay would still find a way regardless. But it would have been a little bit. It would have been tough for him to have that top spot because
that's all I'm saying. That's fair. That's fair. You know, if you say it would have been a little bit tougher for him, but you know what I'm saying.
But see, Mark, you got to think about the trajectory of Jay. You know, when Reasonable Doubt came out, Reasonable Doubt, it took almost 15 years for Reasonable Doubt went gold. I mean,
15, really?
I'm sorry, platinum. I'm sorry, platinum.
But like I said,
if you can look at it, Mark, it took a long time for Reasonable Doubt to go platinum, so people wasn't really gravitating to it. Not only that, you get to look at the fact that his second album wasn't that good. It wasn't because he went a different route. He went the Biggie route. He tried to emulate what Big did because Big had just passed. It didn't work out for Jay. No. Jay didn't blow until Hard Knock Life, the Annie beat. When that beat came out, that when Jay took off. Everybody knew.
What year was that?
That was 98.
98.
That was late 98. That was
volume 2, right? Volume 2.
Do you feel like, Shawn,
classic.
Hey Shawn, would you say that's kind of like when Jay-Z started to find his own identity?
No, wait a minute. Streets is watching dropped before that though.
It came out 97, but it was the Hard Knock Life.
We fucked with that heavy here. Like we was.
But it was the Hard Knock Life.
Was hot. Streets is watching was hot.
It was, but it wasn't Hard Knock Life. That's what I'm saying. Like without Hard Knock Life, Jay would have been just a dope rapper with a solid catalog. Hard Knock Life was the thing that changed the trajectory. As a Nas fan, I'm telling you, even Steve Stout said, he was like, look, when Hard Knock Life came out, Nas was still working on I Am, the original I Am. Because the original I Am was going to be a double CD. He had to go back in the lab and say, look, we need a single that can somewhat rival Hard Knock Life. That's why they made Hate Me Now. Hate Me Now was not on the original I Am album. The original I Am album was going to be an album, but to be a double CD where Nas is talking about from the fetus to the present.
Yeah. And
was the original concept.
I'm gonna say like this though, like I said though, right? Like I said, right? Listen, you know what I mean? We fuck with a lot of shit, you know what I mean, for real in the area. You know what I'm saying? But if you talking about the shit, you know what I mean, for real in this area, you know what I mean, that we really fuck with. You know what I'm saying? We fuck with the shit that, you know what I mean, for real motherfuckers was on. So like, you know what I mean, if you wasn't really talking no player shit, you know what I mean, you wasn't talking no cars, no money. You know what I mean? We ain't give a fuck what you was talking about. Like we wasn't playing your shit. Shit ain't really rock here like that.
Well, we know Philly is different. We understand that. But to the point that I was making earlier, Shawn talking about the Hard Knock Life album. And you know, and Mark, I'll even go back with you. You brought the Streets is Watching, right? Yeah. So as Shawn, you felt that's when Jay-Z started finding his identity, started finding himself. So Streets is Watching was probably the beginning of him going into Hard Knock Life. Right. That's 97, 98. Do you know who was fucking dead in 97, 98?
Yeah.
Before they died, Jay-Z struggled with his own identity. He kept changing up his rhymes, his style. He was even copying Jazzo on shit. He kept copying when Biggie was live. That in my lifetime, that's more like a Biggie shit.
Hey, Marc, where you at right now, man? Hey, text me your location. He didn't find himself until after they died, where he had to create his own self because he was falling.
Well, I still think he was creating, but I think what Jay, you know what I mean, for showed you that he do, right? You know what I'm saying, is that like, he gonna keep, you know what I mean, for real, you know, find the lane, you know what I mean, to slide in. And then to see what works. You know what I mean? If it don't work, you're going to go to something else. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, so basically, even if they was around, you know what I mean? For, you know, you don't think Jay, you know what I mean? For would have got the Philly, you know what I mean? For and then got, you know what I mean? For real, some of that sauce from down here. He would have got that sauce from down here. He got it.
Like, listen, what I'm saying is Jay-Z wouldn't be what he is today. He still would have made money. He still would have had a lane. What I'm saying was he wouldn't have been top tier. He wouldn't be considered top tier. He would have been kind of like, I think he'd been right now, if he had to do tiers, no, obviously he's first tier right now. If they don't die, I think Jay-Z don't pass, probably the highest he would become is second, but I think he probably maintain around third tier.
I got that. But why are we acting like Jay-Z is the only artist that would have been lower tier if these guys had not passed? Because I'm bringing him up because he was directly connected to Biggie and Jay-Z. Right. I mean Biggie and Pop. That's why I'm bringing up. He's directly connected to both of them, and I said he has benefited the most out of anybody in hip hop.
I'm gonna say like this: even if Nas and Pac came together, right? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, even if they came together, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? They not talking, you know what I mean, for real, you know, the shit that's here. You know what I mean? For then it's like, yo, that shit cool. Like, we fuck with it, but you know what I mean, they not talking our shit. And you know what I mean? Man, yo, to hit here, you gotta talk our shit. Like when we look out in the streets, we got to be talking what we seeing right in front of us. You got to be talking
I'm gonna just say in summation, I think that all these niggas would have been fucking. It would have been a problem if Big L had not got murdered. Because if you listen to the big picture, Big L was fucking special, bro.
Yeah, L was special.
If you haven't heard Big Picture, go listen to that shit. It will kind of make you sad that brother got murdered when he did, because that brother was special.
L was special. But like Marc was saying, man, like honestly, and I know we got to move on from this, but like Marc was saying, it's like
I still got to answer my peak hip hop. I never answered that, but go ahead.
Okay, but Marc was saying earlier about the whole trajectory piece is what we're talking about, because you got to think about it. At the time, Big Nas and Pac were peers. It wasn't like this person was here, this person was there. They were all competing for the top spot, because you got to think about who was selling records at that time. When It Was Written came out, It Was Written did 3 mil. You know what I mean? Pac had to take notice. Pac was like, whoa, this guy pushing some units, where back then it was all about record sales. If you're going platinum, you got somebody's attention, because that person who you getting attention is someone like Pac, who was selling millions of records. So now you got someone like Nas, who already been hailed as the second coming, the golden child, if you will, for Illmatic. Then you follow up with It Was Written, who Pac himself said he was studying this album, and you got Big, who was already kind of like on the cusp. Everything was at a breaking point because everyone was at odds. Nas had a problem with Big. Nas and Pac had a problem, but it was in the process of reconciliation and coming together. And Big had a problem with Raekwon. So a lot of the heavyweights at that time were really like fighting for the top spot. Jay was nowhere around that, because he wasn't the Jay that we know today. Jay, even though Reasonable Doubt is a hood classic and we love it, they didn't respect Reasonable Doubt because it wasn't selling. It wasn't a record selling album. No. Even Volume 2 didn't sell shit. It didn't sell.
I can't really speak for, you know what I'm saying? Like with Reasonable Doubt, like I said, it kind of flew over our head lyrically. It kind of flew over our heads of what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
He looked at that as a fly over the head album. No. They weren't like Marc said, Pac cast such a large shadow over hip hop, period. It wasn't a regional thing. Pac was global. If Pac says, I don't mess with these dudes, think about how many people was really conflicted with Big. And Big was great. Big is one of the greatest.
We ain't conflict with him here at all. You know what I mean? At all.
That's regional. I'm talking
about throughout the states.
Globally.
Merv is Tupac biased, so don't listen to that motherfucker.
Nah, but I always talk objectively though.
He does. I give Merv credit for that. I got to give him credit for that.
You could, because it's JT slander. So
no, it's not. It's just man. Jay still made it. But see, even Stacks, even to that, Jay, even when Jay was at his height, he wasn't selling more records than Ja Rule or X.
Wait a minute, you know what I mean? Are we talking? What we talking? Blueprint? What are we talking about?
I don't think
we ain't get to the Blueprint yet.
Blueprint, Hard Knock Life, they weren't selling more than Ja Rule. Ja Rule was selling 3 or 4 million. Jay was selling 3.
Hard
yeah, but Ja Rule, you know what I mean, fell off. You act like Ja Rule had like 4 or 5 albums that did work. Like, you know what I mean? That boy fell off quick. He wasn't around that long.
Hey yo, let me answer my own question,
please.
Let me answer my own question. Let's pivot. All right, so I ask y'all. Oh my God. Anyway, I ask y'all. You know what? What's y'all?
Thank you, Nick. It's not the same conversation, Nick.
I asked y'all, what's y'all peak moment in hip hop? So yeah. I think all 3 of y'all had like albums. I think all 3 of y'all mentioned albums that kind of was y'all moment that was y'all.
No, I mentioned songs, man. You know what I'm saying?
Songs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, mine was 1998. That was my last semester of high school. There was that summer.
I like where it's going. Keep going. I like where it's going though.
Well, now you're his friend again.
And then it was my freshman year. It was my first semester. It was my first semester in college. And so during '98, CNN, Life After Death, and Mace dropped in '97, but it was still heavy in rotation in '98. So the reason why I say '98, Tupac Greatest Hits came out in '98, and that's when he had, I think it was track 4. It said "Rest in Peace." And when he started, "Rest in Peace to my motherfucking Biggie Smalls," and that's when I really thought this nigga ain't dead. Because at this moment, both of them was dead. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck did I just hear?" So Tupac.
Hey Murph, not to cut you off real quick, but I know you laughed when Chappelle's show had the joint and they was playing Tupac. You know what I mean? For like he was still alive. I know you was probably rolling when that shit came on. I know it.
Real long time ago.
Hey, hell yeah! And then and then Aquemini, Outkast Aquemini drop in '98. Man, I don't know if y'all. Well, I know y'all remember that album, but that fucking album right there, and the horns. Yeah, that Big Pun, Capital Punishment drop in '98.
Classic.
Oh my god, it was great. It was fucking great. It was great.
And this is when I first met real niggas from down south. My homeboy Jay and Jonas. This is when they put me on the down south music. 400 Degrees Juvenile drop in '98.
Mm-hmm.
Redman Docs the Name 2000 drop in '98.
Oh my god, that was a good one too.
Redman underrated as hell, man. Redman, he will fuck some of your favorite MCs up any day, anytime.
Fat Joe, Don Cartagena.
Don Cartagena, Fat Joe, Crack Attack.
I love that album.
Don Cartagena. Oh, and I fucked with Gangstar, Moment of Truth, drop in '98.
Oh, yeah.
I fuck with that shit hard.
Yeah, Gangstar, you know what I mean? For real, big guru.
Flesh My Flesh, drop in '98. Method Man to Cal 2000, drop in '98. DMX is Dark and Hell is Hot, drop in '98.
'98 was a good year.
I had so many albums. I had so many people that I could just put in rotation and rotate. Like '98 was my year of hip hop. That was like, yo, like I was just boom, 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 boom. And it was so many different people that was dropping classic type material that I can fucking listen to, man. Like I had so many people. I'll go to the album and have certain songs on repeat and shit. So '98 was my year that hip hop was like, woo, shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Man, that was a lot. That was a lot, fellas.
Miseducation, was that 98?
That was, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That was 97? I thought it was 97.
It was, I think it was 98. It was 98.
Wow.
And the only reason I'm co-signing that because I think I remember it, and it's because Rika is saying it because she knows the music. That Miseducation was just different. It was something fucking different. It's something we never seen before, and it's only sad that was the last thing we heard before KD2 with
y'all mean for shout out to Lauren for shout out to L Boogie, y'all mean for everybody on her first album. She came to check y'all niggas and she did, and y'all ain't say shit, you punk bitches. That's all I gotta say about that.
The situation. Miscommunication lead to complication.
I know when you got Bobby Digital, man. Bobby Digital came out 98 too, man.
That was fucking hot. That was hot.
So with me, man, I don't think it may be different with our younger generation or whatnot, but I don't think I'll ever experience another year like that.
I don't know, Merv. I
don't know, man, because 95 and 96 was crazy too.
Yeah, but that was after. I mean, that was before.
Oh, before you saying
after.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think most of us were in high school during what they call the golden age of hip hop.
Yeah, we were.
And I think you got that realm of 93 through. We're talking about all of us 93 to about 98, 99, where It was just ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, you gotta understand. You know, they say, the high school years are the years that kind of shape your life of
absolutely
what it's getting ready to be. So, you know what I mean? For real, like a lot of your personality, even though you ain't as wild as you used to be or whatever, you know what I'm saying? With the exception of Merc. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, for the most part, you know what I mean? Those are the years, no, seriously, those are the years that kind of shape, you know what I mean, for how you think and, you know, and everything like that, man. So, I mean, I can understand.
Absolutely. Man, fellas, this was a good one, man. This was a good one tonight. We love hip hop. A lot of things that we talk about is centered around hip hop. It's like different parts of our life, different periods that we lived in.
Oh,
We almost make it synonymous.
Nori dropped in 98 too.
Yeah, Nori did. Of course, Corona Queens, man. Left Rack City, Iraq.
Nori dropped in 98. Yo, 98 was special, y'all. 98 was special, y'all.
Cameron dropped that year too, didn't he? Didn't Cameron drop that year? Cameron?
SDE?
I think SDE came out in 99.
Okay.
I think
was that Confessions of Fire?
Confessions of Fire?
Oh, I think so, because it came out after Mace, and Mace dropped in 97.
Yep. Yeah, and matter of fact, that's when Cam and Mace had beef, when Mace charged him that 50 racks to be in a video. Yep. And that's where they beef started, right there.
Aquemini capital punishment, miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Moment of Truth, 400 Degrees, Volume 2, Jay-Z, Tupac Greatest Hits, Life After. Jesus Christ, 98 was fucking special.
Telling y'all. 98, man. Shit, stupid, yo. That's my pick of hip hop. That's like
Harlem World, ATLians, No Way Out, 1999 Eternal, Ghetto Dope.
I forgot about me. Ghetto Dope was crazy. Ghetto Dope was crazy, man. Yeah. I forgot about No Way Out. 98.
Scarface dropped the joint. He dropped my homies in that shit.
Yeah, 98.
Scarface in that shit.
That No Way Out album was special.
Yo, what the album?
Souls of Mischief in that shit. Wow.
98 was All Eyes on Me too, right?
No. Public Enemy dropped the soundtrack that He Got Game. Yeah, I mean the Spike Lee movie in that year.
Wow. 98, man. 98.
Did the Infamous drop in 98? If I'm not mistaken.
They did. No. The Infamous came out in 99. 98 was Hell on Earth. Because remember they had that drop a gem on them. No, hold on.
Right.
Because Busta Rhymes came out in 98 as well, with Ascension Level Event Part 1. That was 98 also.
Snoop Dogg's No Limit album. You know what I mean? For a drop then. Shit, I love that shit. You know what I mean? I like that shit.
Yeah.
I was fucking with that.
Came out in 98.
You know what I mean? The game is to be sold, not to be told. Hell fucking yeah.
Money, Power, Respect was
that 98?
Damn, Exhibit had 40 days, 40 nights.
That was 97, right? Money, Power, Respect was 97,
Money, Power, Respect was 97. Okay. Murder Music dropped in 99. Yeah. You're right, Rika. Murder Music.
Man, Black Star, you know what I mean? With Most Def and Quali dropped in too. Yeah. Black Star. Yeah, I mean, Most Def and Quali was ripping motherfuckers up, you know what I mean? Back then, man. Lyrically, you know what I mean? Them motherfuckers could go.
They all did. And Rika, to Rika's point, like all of those guys you mentioned, they all became superstars because everything was wide open by that time. You know, everything was wide open. You know, Pac died, Big died. Everything was wide open at that time. Hip hop was kind of like, what's that?
Up for grabs, bro.
It was up for grabs. Yeah, it was up for grabs, man. It was like the who's who of music back then started creating a lot of different sounds and different flavors, man. And it was up for grabs. And
Pete Rock dropped it.
Even the young guys,
Pete Rock dropped Soul Survivor. That was my shit.
Right, Murder. Right, and you gotta keep it.
Like Big Pun. That was his first. That was his first
album.
LP. Capital Punishment.
Capital Punishment is probably classic.
Yeah,
man. Busta Rhymes dropped ELE.
Yeah, ELE. And don't forget,
I mean, DJ Clue dropped The Professional, and that was my shit.
Oh, that was 98.
That was 98 too.
That was 98.
That was 98.
Yeah.
That was 98. Killer Army.
Crazy.
Yes.
Killer Army came out 98. Sons of Man came out 98.
I'm telling y'all, 98 was special. I'm telling you, that was that year.
Y'all fucked around and sent Merv to college this year with all that year, all that good music we dropped.
It was crazy. I was going to boot camp. I had every last one of them joints. I went to boot camp, man. It was crazy because you got to think about it. This is after Big Pop, and even Wu-Tang, because Wu-Tang was like, that was the end of the first wave of Wu-Tang. Because 97 was Wu-Tang Forever.
Right.
So that was really the end of the Wu-Tang high era, in my opinion. I mean, they had some moments after that, but that was when Wu-Tang kind of had really, really peaked in 97. Because Supreme Clientele didn't come out until 99, the following year. So 98, Wu-Tang just kind of threw out their other groups. Yeah.
Man. Damn. Man. Somebody sent me the video, y'all. I mean that the Wu All-Star Soul in the Hole, man. That was my shit too. Yeah. I was like, man, shout to Booger Smith, Playground legend.
Boot camp. I bought so many CDs when I got a boot camp. I went to boot camp in October '98. I didn't get back home until January of '99. So I picked up everything I missed out.
Damn, shit! That you probably spent probably about $200.
Man, I spent every last bit of my private first class check.
Man,
that's about all of it.
You know what? Speaking of that, man, shout out to my man E that worked at Sam Goody. You know what I mean? For real, had him for the low. Used to steal him. You know what I mean? Sell it on the low.
For real. Shout out to Columbia House.
Yeah, shout out to Columbia House.
Yeah,
shout out to Columbia House. Everybody benefited off of that shit, man.
Columbia House, you ain't even have to use her real name. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That shit was love.
97 was Bad Boy and No Limit. Absolutely.
Yeah. No Limit. Yeah, No Limit dropped a lot of shit that year. Yeah,
they dropped a lot of shit.
Hey, Shawn, I had a dude when I was at job training that wanted to fight me because I didn't know who Master P was, and I didn't know that Ghetto Dope was an album that dropped. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, Ghetto Dope. That was my shit.
That Ghetto D was crazy.
It really was.
I was in Atlanta when I first heard that joint, visiting one of my cousins, and they were playing first they played the Ice Cream Man movie, and then they put on the bootleg joint, and then they played Ghetto Dope, and he had like speakers, man, and you're like, God damn.
Ghetto thinking about my homies passed away.
We did. We actually did.
We definitely put Columbia House in bankruptcy because we were purchasing CDs 20 for a penny.
And I was in there. I'm a witness. I ain't paying them.
I got no shame. I was definitely with those guys.
Man.
Yo, but fellas, good show tonight. I hate to wrap it up, but I got to take a flight tomorrow morning. I would love to keep on keeping on with this whole thing, man. So really good show tonight. Marc, what you got? What's your parting words for us tonight, man?
Man, I'm gonna say like this: is dope music everywhere, man. So I'm just like, man, you gotta, whatever you missed, you know what I mean? You gotta go back and listen to it, man. Whatever you missed, you know what I'm saying? Like, like if you missed the album, you missed songs, you know what I mean? Go back and listen to it, man. You know what I mean? For real, like, you got Onyx, Last Days, you know what I'm saying? You got Cool Breeze, Watch for the Hook, you know what I'm saying? You got my man Gemini and Lupe Fiasco, We On, you know what I mean? Especially if you love lyrics, you know what I'm saying? If you love lyricism, you have to check out this song by Gemini with Lupe Fiasco called We On. Them boys be ripping that shit from start to finish, you know what I mean? Both out Chicago. So I'm like, you gotta check that out, man. Shout out to The Far Side, Passing Me By, Flyers Pie remix. That was my shit right there. You know what I mean? And there's so many, man. Shout out to Slim Thug, you know what I mean? Shout out to the boy Aztec when he did the joint with Jay-Z, you know what I mean? For the Back Then remix, you know what I'm saying? And Aztec is rapping in Spanish and English on the shit, killing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, there's so much hip hop out there, man.
I
mean, I'm gonna say like this, to be honest with you, if you want to really actually just know some hip hop, just hit the guys page, ask for any one four of us. Yeah, I mean, if you just want songs, I mean, I can just give you songs. If you want my playlist, I can give you my playlist. I mean, I got a playlist for now, I got a playlist for then.
Well,
I give it all to you, man. Yo, man, listen, where you I need to know where to send it to, Marc. I don't know where to send it to.
Okay, don't worry.
You know what I mean?
I got you. Okay, cool.
That needs to be a thing where we start putting out playlists. I think we need to go ahead and rotate and put out playlists individually on the page. We can put it on the page and people can vibe to it and tell us what they think.
You know what? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say like this. I'm challenging everybody, you know what I mean, watching tonight. You know what I'm saying? Set the post up, you know what I mean, for just grab the link and post that in that shit. That's it. That's gonna be the guys playlist right there. Post that fucking link and then just you know what I mean, set it off. I mean, I can set it up tonight if you want. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just play shit and y'all rock out, but I want y'all to post y'all shit because I want to know what y'all rock to. Don't let it just be what I rock to. No, fuck that. I want to know what y'all rock to.
It literally just came to me, bro. We can have people on our page or anybody that's in the guys group post their playlist, and we can vote. We can make it like a week long or a 2 week long or a month contest where we can vote on whoever send the playlist, and we can go through that playlist on one of our Monday shows. Leading into I'm gonna go ahead and do my wrap up. This is we could go until 1 o'clock in the morning talking about hip hop. I was smiling a whole lot doing this show because when we mention all this shit as far as hip hop, it takes me back to a time. It'll always take you back to a time. That's why I had to ask Merv, where the fuck were you? See if you remember when Tupac died. Me and this nigga was in the same place getting the brakes beat off us in a football game back in '96. And that's huh?
That was the JV. That was JV.
Nah, that was varsity. That was my senior year, your junior year. That was varsity.
Yeah, it was a Thursday, nigga. It was a junior varsity was playing. It wasn't us.
I want to say it was a Friday, but we go ahead and fact check that after the show. I'm thinking Tupac died on a Friday. But Thursday. anyway, when my guys that are on this show start talking about hip hop and they talk about those times, I just start smiling because I go back and think about where I was during these times, during these eras, and it makes me happy, man. Hip hop is life. That's just what it is. Hip hop is life. It's a part of our culture. It's a part of our DNA. We need to keep that shit alive, and we need to respect. We need to respect the old hip hop heads and the artists, as well as we need to go ahead and accept and respect the new artists. I love it, and I see a lot of things going forward as we can do these contests. Just to get hip hop out there, so we can spark up more conversations outside of the show, man. We welcome it all. This was a very good pod. I salute you, brothers, and that's all I got.
Word, what you got for us, man?
Well, let Stacks know that he was correct. It was Friday.
You're damn right. We was in the middle of the fucking game, getting the brakes beat off when we find out.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
I had to fact check that shit real quick. My wrap up is if anybody if anybody watching the show that don't really know Tupac and be like, why does nigga like Tupac so damn much? Go back and listen to his albums and listen to his interviews. And if you're a movie person, you can watch it. You can watch some of the movies too, but that's not as impactful. But if you listen to all his music and listen to his interviews, them shit will hit different. Listen to his music and his interviews, and do you find out why Tupac touched so many damn people and why I'm a big ass fan of him.
It's again, until tonight, we never really talked about how much you felt about Pac. So I appreciate you being open about that and really just telling us your take, because a lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people don't talk about their dislike, or not dislike, but their feelings about Big in the height of that Pac battle as well. But Merv was very honest about his approach to tonight with regards to how that impacted him as a 15-year-old, having his favorite rapper being at odds at another great rapper, and he didn't shy away from it. So I appreciate you saying that, because like I told Stats before, I like Jay, but when it was war, it was war. It was like I can't like Jay because of these obvious reasons, right? And nothing that I got against Jay. I think Jay is a phenomenal. He's one of the GOATs. There are several GOATs, and he's one of them. So I never had any quarrels with feeling like I had to defend my own rationale for not liking Jay at the time when it was on. So I appreciate Merv not making me feel like I'm the only person out there that sounds crazy.
And real quick, whoever the Facebook user is, it was like you crazy. His movies were even dope. So no, I fuck with Tupac movies. The movie was dope, but we were talking about Tupac in the hip hop form. So that's why I said if you listen to his music and his interviews, because a lot of his interviews, he talks about his music and he connects his music to real life, what's going on. So that's why I said if you listen to his music and his interviews, then you know why in the hip hop world so much people fuck with Pac and how he touch somebody's soul. Now the movies was dope, but we talking about from the hip hop angle for the Facebook user.
Absolutely. Fellas, my takeaway tonight, again, thank you for rocking with us tonight with regards to just hip hop. It's always good to come on here and talk hip hop. You guys know how much I love hip hop. I'm always talking about it almost every day with y'all, sending y'all messages all the time. So you guys know how I love it. My love for hip hop is deep, because everything in hip hop to me resonates with different parts of my life. And I feel like it's who I am. I've always felt like I was a B-boy to the core. And I still think Nas is the GOAT. King's Disease 2 is in stores, online. Please download it. Please stream it. Do what you need to do to get that in your system. You got to listen to King's Disease.
Death Row East, track number 2.
Death Row East, definitely.
Nobody with L Boogie.
Nobody.
Please do that.
Store Run is dope. I sent the Store Run original cut earlier today. Gotta check that out. The sample they used was bananas. So please go check out that King's Disease 2. Nas had the highest chart that he had in a long time. Came in number 1. So
that brunch on Sundays is my joint too.
We already talked about this album. Keep going.
I'm just saying, man. Like Murph, he told Shorty, he said, I told her to look in her account. There's a blessing in it.
Good job.
I'm gonna start saying that to my winners, man. I'm like, yo, check your bank account. There's a blessing in it. I'm just saying, I'm gonna start using that, man. I might put like $10 in it, but I'm just saying, yo, there's a blessing in it. But I'm glad Stacks is getting a chance to really process this album, and be on the Nas bandwagon for a little while. Yeah, Stacks, get out of here. You need to grow up, man. But real talk, man. Yo, thank you guys for rocking tonight. I asked y'all to trust me on the topics for hip hop. Everybody brought something to the table. Everybody brought what they wanted to bring for us to talk to tonight. And the intention was to have an hour or an hour and a half show so I can go to bed and wake up every morning for the flight. But that never happens. So Bobby, I apologize again. I sent Bobby a note saying we might be late tonight, but we might not be. So Bobby, I apologize again.
What do you want me to do? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. This is hip hop. This is hip hop talk, and we just started. I will definitely create a playlist. I know you guys want to know what I'm playing and what I'm listening to, because I got such a good ear for music. So for all my fans out there, you will get that from me. I would not let you down. I smoke anybody when it comes to this hip hop battle. So anybody who want to come at me, you bring your best 20 songs. I bring my best 20, and I will smoke your boots. Ask Marc. But anyhow, shout out to that.
And we can't even do that shit anyway. You know what I mean? Where we get clipped, dog.
We really, I'm just talking crazy right now. Yeah. We really can't. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to Blackjack TV. Shout out to our partners on the front lines behind the scenes. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Team B, Becca. Shout out to everybody who rocks with us. Shout out to McJ. Shout out to Marc for being in the comments tonight. Shout out to Rika. Rika is soul sister #1 when it comes to music. So shout out to Rika. Shout out to Mo for coming back again this week and giving us some of his words of wisdom on spitting some of the verses of Nas. Thank you, Mo, for that. And shout out to my brothers. Shout out to Merv. Shout out to Stack. Shout out to this dude's crazy. Shout out to Marc. Shout out to all of you guys. And man, another show tomorrow, Raising Canaan, episode 4. 5. Is it 5? No, it's 4. 5? Damn. Oh no, it's 4.
It is 5. It is 5. You're right.
Episode 5.
Yeah, episode was deep. Episode was deep. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to tune in for the commentary.
Absolutely. Please check out tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. My guys will be back tomorrow with that show. Then Wednesday night, my guys will be back again. I may not be on here. I'll be in Charleston, West Virginia. Shout out to West Virginia. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't want to fly, but it is what it is. So let's make it happen. And shout out to everybody. Peace, love, hair grease, all that good stuff. We out.